Forefront Broadcasting Sports. It's time for Pierre Governor Sports on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. The Pierre Governors are brought to you by Bank West, Allied Plumbing, Beck Motors, Home Care Services, Venture Communications, Vilas Pharmacy, Todd's Electric, State Farm Insurance, CHS River Plains, and Xander Auto Parts.
Coming out the timeout, Elijah Bucci with the snap. He goes left side. Down to the end zone. He's in! Touchdown, Governors! They've got the lead with 8 seconds to go.
And by Wheelhouse Auto Body, Slumberland, SD Savin, Shane's Pharmacy, Kathy Sun & Shine Properties, Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, First Fidelity Bank, Country Carpet and Flooring, and Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping.
This will be tapped over. See if the Governors again can take advantage of Waldron set for Cronin. There's your win. In set one, 32-30. Campbell Cronin with 8 kills in the first set.
And by Wagner Auto, Sanford Clinic, the South Dakota Office of Attorney General Division of Consumer Protection, American Family Insurance Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, Envirotech, First National Bank, and Faith Lutheran Church.
As the Governors get across midfield, LaRush now with some open space, looking to send one through forward for Aharts. It comes in, Aharts, he scores! Keith Aharts from LaRush, and it's a 1-0 lead.
And by Cougar Climate Systems, River Bottom Sanitation, Rising Hope Counseling, Pizza Ranch, Olson Plumbing, Dakota Storm Roofing, Ferding Electric, James Valley Landscaping, Lamb Motors, May Adam, and First Dakota National Bank.
Sheldon will lose the ball. The Pierre Governors, they fall on it. They're going to the Dome. The Governors score with 8 seconds remaining, and they win it 14-9.
And by Oahe Federal Credit Union, Missouri River Dentistry, Cougar Contracting, Karsten Erickson Roofing, Gales Gas, Edward Jones Financial, and First United Methodist Church. And now to the booth with the call of the game and the voice of the Pierre Governors, John Winkler.
And a good evening as we welcome you to homecoming as the Pierre Governors take on the Brookings Bobcats in an ESD rivalry game. Both teams at 2-1 here in week 4 of the high school football season. And this Pierre Governor team, after a big win, breaking out last week, offensively scoring 41 points, want to continue that trend here tonight as they welcome in a homecoming crowd after a little bit of a possibility of maybe moving things around. There was a talk of maybe playing on Saturday, but we're going to play tonight. The field will be a little bit sloppy, not as bad as maybe what it was a couple weeks ago in the first game of the season. But Blake Dean, who joins me, field conditions are not great again. The Governors might have the advantage on that side because they know exactly what it was like to play a couple weeks ago on this grass field, where Brookings has had some pretty nice weather in the days that they have played so far, and the games that they've played so far. So a little bit of some home field advantage on top of what Hollister Field already brings for home field advantage.
Yeah, the other thing to think about, too, is that Brookings normally plays their home games on Dana J. Dykehouse at Dana J. Dykehouse Stadium on the campus of SDSU, which is a turf field also. So Brookings doesn't really see a whole lot of grass fields either. And I think, to your point, that's going to play into the fact that this game is going to be probably a little bit sloppy again, kind of similar to the Aberdeen Central game that we saw week 1. But I think you're right. That does play into the hands of the Pierre Governors because they've already played a game like this earlier in the season, and Brookings, for the most part, hasn't. So a lot of running the football we're going to probably be expecting again. That'll set up some play action maybe or down the road if need be. And we'll see how things shake out tonight for the Govs, John, as the Governors look to get their 3rd win of the season tonight here on homecoming.
One thing for the Pierre Governors, Carter Merrill is back after missing the first 3 games. He's going to be in the lineup and going to be utilized. as you mentioned, a lot of running the football tonight. That plays in the hands of Carter Merrill, who's excited and ready to get back on the field for the first time this year, and that can play huge dividends for the Governors.
Yeah, it really can. Carter really provided a spark when they inserted him into the starting lineup last year at starting tailback. He provided a big spark and brought a lot of juice out of the backfield, and that really kind of, I think, started building positive momentum for the Govs as they went back to the Dome again last year, that they established a good running game behind Carter Merrill and that offensive line once they kind of shook things up a little bit there too. So good to see Carter back out there. He's going to provide a spark, to your point, and I think this is going to be a big-time effort for him. You're going to see him tote the rock a lot here tonight, and I think he is more than hyped up for the task to do so after being sidelined for the first 3 games.
Brookings on the other side, offensively, they've kind of been up and down so far this first part of the season. They didn't have a whole lot of offense last year, but a very good defense. But a new man, the head coach, Carter Gordon, who's got some Pierre ties with parents that went here, grandparents that were part of Pierre Governor football. So a Pierre ties for a Brookings graduate in Carter Gordon. He makes not making his head coaching debut, but the first time he is here in Pierre. And so we'll see a little bit different. Coach Steele will talk with him about what they maybe see differently, but overall, still similarities for this Brookings Bobcats team coming into tonight.
Yeah, it'll be, a Brookings team that's going to be physical. They're going to be hard at the point of attack like they normally are, and they're being led by Carter Gordon in his first trip to Pierre as head coach of the Bobcats. Carter's dad is Alan Gordon, who was starting quarterback Riggs High School class of 83, and his mom, Karen Koistinen, was a class of 84 athlete for the Pierre Governors, and his grandfather, Ken Koistinen, actually was the head football coach here at Riggs for a number of years back in the 70s and 80s. So, Pierre ties for Carter Gordon. He's got some family that still live here in Pierre as well and have been athletes here in Pierre. So it'll be interesting to see that he's probably got a large contingent of family support, both wearing red and green tonight. But, homecoming for him in some sorts, but he's going to lead this Brookings Bobcats team into a hard-nosed game. Point of attack, they're going to attack the football like we talked about and probably run the football quite a bit with the field conditions being what they are.
Here, Governors and the Brookings Bobcats coming up here from Hollister Field. We'll talk to both coaches. We'll first talk with the head coach, Carter Gordon, of the Brookings Bobcats. That'll be coming up next. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
As community bankers, BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose BankWest. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota in Pierre is proud to sponsor today's game. Whether you're in the market for a brand new Ford, Lincoln, or Toyota, or a quality pre-owned vehicle, our team is here to get you back on the road in style. From tough trucks to family SUVs, we've got the selection you need and the hometown service you deserve. Browse online anytime at CapitalCityFordToyota.com. Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, where community drives us forward.
Planting for next year is right around the corner, but do you know how much nutrients your crops will need? Fall soil sampling with CHS River Plains can help you look at each field's nutrient carryover, provide you with a more accurate farm plan, and allow you to take a position on those nutrients needed when you see fit. Plus, it'll make your life easier next spring when the planters are ready to roll and you don't have to wait. Contact your local CHS River Plains agronomist today, and we'll get the pickup headed your way.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Athletics on KCCR. Go Govs! For all your investment needs, call or stop by one of our offices to visit with your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisor. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
for helping people.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up all online. New or used, shop for it all online anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
Is it time for a fresh look underfoot? Tired of worn out carpets or outdated flooring? Then you need to visit Country Carpet and Flooring in Pierre. We're your local experts for every style. From plush carpets and durable laminates to elegant hardwoods and luxury vinyl. Discover hundreds of options from top name brands, all with our friendly expert service. Visit Country Carpet and Flooring at 414 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre or call us at 605-224-9297. Country Carpet and Flooring. Your floor, your style, our expertise.
As we welcome you back to the pregame show here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Join me as Coach Carter Gordon of the Brookings Bobcats as they get set to take on the Pierre Governors here on the homecoming week. And Coach, it's been a rainy week here in Pierre. Has any of the rain or anything been affecting you guys at all in practice going through this week and getting prepared for Friday?
We got some rain the last couple of days, but from what I hear, you guys got the bare brunt of it. It was, up to 3 now, possibly?
Yes, yeah. It was been a lot of rain, especially over the last Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. But I know that you guys are used to the rain game. We watched the film on Aberdeen. That one looked pretty brutal in terms of rainfall that night too.
So that kind of is a interesting question to think about or ask. Is that Pierre has played in a rain-soaked game on a natural grass field, and that while there shouldn't be any rain by game time, but assuming that everything is played as normal, that the field conditions may not be great when you, and then Pierre having already played. Do you feel like you might be at a disadvantage already because you haven't been able to play in a sloppy game this year at this point?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But, we've played in some pretty close games, at least 2 close games so far, and I'm hoping that mentality carries over, even if it is a sloppy game. The fact that we've been through close games so far kind of carries through. But, I mean, we're definitely at a disadvantage in terms of playing in poor conditions, that's for sure.
You guys, what's kind of been the big thing that stands out about what this Brookings Bobcats team has been able to do so far through the first 3 weeks of the season?
I think persevere. Just don't get down on ourselves. Continue to work hard and work diligently throughout the week, getting prepared for game, and then staying focused on what we need to do in game. It's not always there, but when we need it most, it shows up, and I think that's what we've been trying to hit home with the guys, that every play matters, and so your concentration has to be at its full capacity for every snap.
3 games so far in the season for the Pierre Governors. What you've seen on film, only one common opponent, Aberdeen Central, who you just beat 14-10 last Friday. But when you look at Pierre on film, what kind of stands out?
The same things year in and year out. Well coached, always in the right positions. Don't make a ton of mistakes. And so we have to kind of match that, and we have to play every year. You got to play good football against Pierre. So
You have moved into the head coaching role your first year for the Pierre Governor faithful who'll be watching in person or maybe watching on TV or listening tonight on the radio. Can we expect maybe some of the what is there a lot of similarities to teams of the past for Brookings? What maybe might be different with you as the head coach now in your first year?
I think I played in the program back in the day, and so some of the stuff that we ran back when I was in school, that some of that stuff came back, but we kept a strong core of what has been in place the last few years. So, I mean, it's kind of a mix and match of both. But I think it's meant, on the offensive side at least, it's melded fairly well together. And then defensively, we haven't changed up too much there.
Again, talking with Coach Carter Gordon of the Brookings Bobcats as we get closer to kickoff here between the Governors and the Bobcats here for a homecoming here in Pierre. Being on the road, Brookings gets a lot of, you travel quite a bit when you're on the road. It's not an easy distance by any means. But being on the road tonight against this Governor team, a 3-hour bus ride, how key is a good start to coming off the bus and feeling good and being ready to go? And how key is that good start?
Good coming out quick is huge for any team. I would say we came out ready to play the game, one of our 3 games so far, and so that's been kind of the emphasis this week too. Is quick start. Don't wait back to get a feel for how the game's going to go. Attack the game, and just get out there and play football right away. Don't take plays off, and don't take the first drive as kind of a feeler drive. Be ready to go as soon as we get that ball.
We're getting into week 4, so we're closing on the halfway point. But injury report, how's things? Everybody going on the injury side of things?
We've been kind of bit by the injury bug. We've only got one kiddo out for the remainder of the year from an injury that he sustained in game 2. But we got a lot of guys that are pretty banged up, and so we're calling on some guys to play more roles, more intricate roles to be successful. So, we do have a handful of guys that are pretty banged up, pretty sore.
And then final question, biggest key here for the Brookings Bobcats to get a win tonight against the Pierre Governors?
Sustain drives, take care of the football on the offensive side, execute. And then on defense, big plays are going to be had by Pierre's offense. It's how you respond to those, how you can wash those off, and then get ready for the next play that matters.
Well, Coach, I appreciate the time. It's good talking to you. Good luck tonight. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. That is head coach Carter Gordon of the Brookings Bobcats. Back with more of the pregame show next year on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Have you assessed your roof at your home or business? Dakota Storm Roofing and Gutters can help. Since 2010, Dakota Storm Roofing and Gutters has been helping their customers in Pierre, Fort Pierre, and all surrounding areas. With over 20 years experience, the professionals at Dakota Storm Roofing and Gutters know how to get the job done. Specializing in all types of roofing, they'll make sure to find the right fit for you and your home. Give them a call at 605-280-9794 or get a free quote on their website at dakotastormroofing.com. Dakota Storm Roofing and Gutters. Reliable roofing for your peace of mind.
With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back, the sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good, solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. With plans that could save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance.
Visit mfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact the Brittany Shufflebind Agency, LLC, 224-6627.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
At Wheelhouse Auto Body, we believe in treating our customers and their cars like family. Our service-focused team has over 50 years combined experience in the automotive repair industry. If you have a vehicle, big or small, that needs some TLC, Wheelhouse Auto Body team is ready to take care of you. Visit Wheelhouse Auto Body at 720 North Garfield or contact us at 605-494-0436. Wheelhouse Auto Body of Pierre.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
For over 60 years, Birding Electric has been powering homes and businesses across central South Dakota. When you need reliable electrical service, trust the experts with decades of experience. Whether it's a simple residential repair, a complex commercial installation, or even electrical work on your farm, Birding Electric has you covered. And if you're tired of searching everywhere for that hard-to-find bulb, Birding Electric carries a wide selection of bulbs, including those hard-to-find fluorescent and specialty options. Visit us at 2903 East Elizabeth Street or call today, 605-224-8684.
As we welcome you back to the pregame show here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Join me as Coach Steve Steele, the Pierre Governors, and Coach, homecoming week this week. You get to take on the Brookings Bobcats tonight, and the excitement. How was practice throughout the week, getting ready for the homecoming game? Was there a little bit more distraction? The guys more dialed in and focused after last week's win. What was that like?
I think there was a good level of focus. I think there was a lot of distraction, most of that in the form of precipitation. Really forced us to adjust. The practice field was pretty much flooded on Wednesday, so we kind of missed that day and had to maneuver. And we practiced in the morning in the gym on Thursday to try and make sure we could get some more work in, and then hit a walkthrough, and here we are.
Yeah, and then obviously the game, the forecast is not scheduled for rain, so preparing for this game and how much rain we've gotten. What was the difficulty of moving things around like that?
Yeah, it's just hard because you don't get a true practice week when you've got to do those things. But it's kind of like the Aberdeen game. Everyone we played in tough weather, but this is a little bit more rain than even that day. So. It's more of a mental thing to prepare for than anything else. But again, hopefully they're not a factor. The weather itself is not a factor.
This Brookings team, what have you seen from them on film? Is it kind of the new head coach this year? Is there a big change in what you've seen, scheme-wise, or is it still kind of what Brookings has done the last couple of years?
Yeah, it's still pretty similar to what they've done. Defensively, almost identical. Offensively, they've got a few more things that are in. Do a little bit of different stuff. They throw the ball a little bit more than they did last year, but otherwise, it still looks like Brookings, I guess.
One thing for you guys after such a great offensive week this past week, and we mentioned it, in the post-game show on Friday too. What needs to be even better this week? What needs to be different that needs to be better for this game tonight against Brookings? I
just think we can still be sharper. I think. On whole, we did well on offense and in defense. Really, for a quarter or 2 quarters, first half, I think it was very sharp. I just think the second half things we got a little bit away from what we do on defense. And on offense, there was still. We had some plays that should have been bigger. We had a few miscues, so it's just kind of sharpening those things up a little bit more and continuing to progress.
And you mentioned it defensively. This outside of the second touchdown last Friday. The defense still hasn't given up 20 points, even with that second touchdown, but pretty much given up 13 points and then 6 points. Been very, very sharp over the course of 3 straight games. But again, in your eyes too, what needs to be better for the defense tonight against this Brookings team?
Yeah, it's just every play. That's the kind of the thing of our defense. On whole, it's been very, very good. There's just been a play here and a play there, and we're just we got to make sure that that play here and that play there isn't huge plays here and huge plays there. If it's a first down, that's not a big deal. If it's a 60-yard gain or a touchdown, that's a big deal. So just kind of staying more than anything mentally focused, especially against a team like Brookings where they do have a little bit more play action than most other teams. So, just making sure you're not falling asleep and, in the secondary and able to lock in on your guy.
And, tonight with the home game being homecoming, but when you go back in the first home game of the season was starting at 9:15 at night, still a good crowd, but obviously wasn't as big as what it could be. So it kind of feels a little bit more like tonight's the home opener for the Pierre Governors, doesn't it?
It does, and man, it would be weird to see a dry field here.
Right.
It's getting really weird to see as much wet as we have here at Hollister. But, homecoming's always a fun crowd. It's usually a packed house, and, just a really fun atmosphere for these kids to play a game in.
Then biggest key overall here for the Pierre Governors to get the win tonight against Brookings.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be lack of mistakes. If we can make the least amount of mistakes today, again, it'll be wet regardless of whether it's raining or not. So just, no turnovers, limiting penalties. Everything's a little bit easier, especially when you have conditions that could be a factor if you don't make those mistakes.
Coach, I appreciate the time as always. Good luck tonight. We'll talk to you in the postgame.
Thanks, John.
That's head coach Steve Steele, the Pierre Governors, back with more of the pregame show next year on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Venture Communications has deep roots in rural South Dakota. Venture now proudly provides fiber to the home with 100% of our customers, enabling them to enjoy super fast and reliable internet connections. We'd like the opportunity to keep you in touch with the people and resources that matter most. 100% fiber and 100% committed to rural South Dakota. Call Venture Communications today at 605-852-2224, 605-852-2224, or online at venturecom.net.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
The lawyers at the May Adam Law Firm in Pierre know how important your families are to you. If you've been putting off getting your affairs in order, know that the May Adam Law Firm is available to counsel you through your questions and help you get the documents in place so that you've made your loved ones secure. Call them at 224-8803 and they can chat with you about how to document your concerns and care for your family. We're all in this together, and the May Adam Law Firm is ready and able to help.
Inheritance, romance, and investment scams continue to plague South Dakotans with high dollar amount losses. They prey on vulnerable adults and swindle consumers out of their funds. Scammers befriend the victim, making it difficult for them to see the reality of what's happening. If you have a loved one susceptible to this type of scam, sit down and talk with them about these issues before it happens to them. If you or a loved one have been scammed in this manner, please reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
You've changed thousands of diapers, cut hundreds of cross, and played hours of peekaboo and duck duck gray duck because you'd do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Carrie Bauman will help make it easy and affordable to help protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Carrie Bauman in Pierre today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And we welcome you back as we get set for a kickoff between the Pierre Governors and the Brookings Bobcats, as it will be the Governors that will get the ball first as they elect to receive. They won the toss, elect to receive, and we'll see the Governor offense, who scored 41 points last week, and Blake in a big way got themselves going, and there's a lot more confidence around this offense heading into this game against the Brookings Bobcats, and maybe they still were confident going into last week, but I think everybody else is a little bit, everybody can take a deep breath after what the Governor offense did last Friday.
Yeah, the first 2 weeks, you kind of throw the first week out just because the field conditions were not great, and it's the first game of the year anyway. On top of field conditions being poor, only 9 points in that ball game for the Governor offense, and then they only put up 7 against the Huron Tigers in week 2. and you kind of start to question things a little bit, to your point, like what's the season looking like, as far as the offense struggling. But then they go up and hang 41 points on Watertown last week. And that, I think, really kick-started the positive momentum that the Governors have, and they elect to receive the opening kickoff tonight as a result of that positive momentum that they built last week.
Drew Johnson has got it teed up. The hand goes down. We are underway here at homecoming nights as it will go all the way back deep. Jaron D will take it inside the 5-yard line. He's out to the 15 to the 20, skips through a man. He's out to the 25, and he's wrapped up and brought down as he falls forward at the 27-yard line, and that is where the Governors will start here tonight. 629 yards now for Caleb Lounsbury, throwing the ball, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, a 66% completion percentage, and had nearly 300 yards of that 629 last week Friday against the Watertown Arrows. As we will see Cade Duchenot that will get the start, but Carter Merrill will be used quite often tonight. We expect to see him quite often. Pistol formation here to start off. 2 receivers out far side. 1st and 10 for the 27. Quick throw on the screen pass. The catch will be made by Scheffelbein with a lot of screen pass, and a lot of Brookings Bobcats were there. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, and Scheffelbein no gain on that first initial catch.
Yeah, that took a long time to develop that screen pass, and took a while for Lounsbury to get the ball out of his hands to Scheffelbein on the screen, and Brookings was able to rally to the point of attack like we talked about. They're kind of known for that historically, and they did just that to stop Scheffelbein for no gain on first down.
Now here is Carter Merrill, and he'll get the handoff. First run for him of the season. Bounced out left side, almost lost his footing, got hit pretty hard, and he will go down for a gain of about 5, and it makes it 3rd and manageable here for the Governors, as I believe it was Kingston Schneider that made the catch, or made the tackle, excuse me. And it's 3rd down and 5 for the 32-minute gone by. First 3rd down of the ball game. You listen to KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station just past 7 o'clock. John Winkler alongside Blake Dean. First possession of the ball game for either team. Lounsbury, this will be a whistle, and Cooper Twilliger will have to come off the field. And so they have to send someone on in place of him. And the man that will be in place of him will be Will Eilers.
I wonder if Terwilliger's bleeding, and that's maybe why the referee stopped play.
I was just saying, he didn't seem like he knew exactly why he was supposed to come off the field, but it is 3rd down and 5. Game clock is stopped at 10:46 right now. 3 receivers out far side, pistol formation. Lounsbury drops back to pass, throws over the middle, catch will be bobbled and caught, and there goes Scheffelbein down the field, right in the middle of the field, all the way to the end zone, and an early touchdown for the Governors. A 68-yard reception. Carter Scheffelbein takes it to the house, and the Governors score just 1 minute and 26 seconds into the ball game.
That's a simple slant route from Scheffelbein, and Lounsbury's able to hit him in stride, and Scheffelbein broke an arm tackle, and it was off to the races from there. And we've talked about it numerous times this year, John. If Carter Scheffelbein gets into the clear, there are very few people in Class AA football that are going to be able to catch number 7 in green, and that ends up as 6 points for the home team, pending the extra point, and the extra point is actually blocked off the foot of Carter Templeton, who is back kicking tonight for the Governors. So it'll end up being a 6-0 ball game. I think Bergen Tetzlaff got his hand on that one, the senior tight end linebacker.
So 6-0 lead, 10:34 to go in the first. Quarterback in 30 seconds here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Hello, friends. This is Pastor Sam at Faith Lutheran Church. We have many blessings to give thanks. A beautiful city on the river, helpful and encouraging friends and neighbors, and of course, our peer athletes. They're the reason for us being here, so let's help them out. I will be praying for our athletes throughout this season. I encourage you to join me in praying for their health and safety as well as their success, both on the field and in the classroom.
We're Faith Lutheran and we are glad you're here.
We welcome you back. It is a 6-0 lead. The American Family Insurance Brittany Scheffelbein scoreboard. Just 1 minute and 26 seconds into the ball game. Joe McClure alongside Blake Dean. Carter Shufflebein, the three-play drive. Lounsbury to Shufflebein for 68 yards. Ends up being a 73-yard drive in total. As the Govs picked up 5 yards from Carter Merrill on the ground, the rest of the 68 yards after about a 5-6 yard slant was caught by Shufflebein, and he took it the rest of the way. And it is a 6-0 lead on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard. Templeton high kickoff. It'll be fielded and almost dropped by Brookings, and it will be around the 30-yard line, so good field position, but it was Otto Eisness that made the catch, and he had to just fall on top of her. Was it number 3 in Cash Sather that ended up falling on it? But either way, Brookings will get it with good field position at the 30-yard line, but almost turned into the Pierre Governors football again.
Yeah, it really did. That was a bobbled ball and did not look like it was very secure on the catch. I almost thought he maybe should have fair caught it, but just to save himself some time from bobbling it. But Brookings maintains possession. They set up 1st and 10.
So Armenta will get the first handoff, and that defensive line quickly. Hudson Schaefer with the tackle. He had the fumble recovery last week against the Watertown Heroes, and it will be a gain of 3 for Armenta on the first run of the ball game. This Brookings offense will take their time offensively. We've seen that the last several years. Not much has changed with Coach Gordon now as the head coach. They will still like to run the football, maybe a little bit more up-tempo somewhat, but they will like to run the football between the tackles with Armenta. Gavin Anderson, the quarterback, and now we get a whistle. And now we've got someone else that will need to be off the field, I think, is Lincoln Schoenhardt has to come off. I'm not sure. That's twice now that we've seen the Pierre Governor have to do that. Again, I don't know if it's blood that's forcing someone off the field or not, but 2nd and 7 from the 33 with 9:57 to go here in the first quarter. From the shotgun, Anderson hands off for Armenta, trying to find a hole up the middle. That he was wrapped up by Max Schmitz quickly. And that defensive line is going to get a lot of work here. Hudson Schaefer came over and helped with the tackle, but this defensive line, Blake, is going to be really good because that first initial block, if they can get around that first initial block, it's going to be a long night for the Brookings offense.
Yeah, this defensive line for Pierre, especially really all year, has been very stout. It's stopping the run and keeping ball carriers in containment. And really, that's pretty impressive when you run essentially a 3-4 defense. Those 3 guys up front, Bogenhagen and Sharon and Rounds, and you throw Schmitz in there too. All 3 of those guys can really, really stuff ball carriers.
Pistol formation on 3rd and 6. Anderson throws here the near side. A man is open. He'll make the catch, and he will tiptoe his way out of bounds as the catch is made by Bergen Tetzlaff, the tight end. And it's a first down as he will get out to the 45-yard line, a gain of 9, and it's first, make that a gain of 11, and it's 1st and 10 for Brookings.
Yeah, just kind of an out route from number 10. That was Meendering, wasn't it? Oh, no, it was Tetzlaff. You're right. So kind of an out route there from Tetzlaff, and Anderson is able to hit him in stride. Nice chunk play there for the Bobcats, setting up 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line.
From the shotgun, handoff for Armenta, go outside the left tackle, trying to cut it back. He is met, and he is pushed backwards by Porter Hunsley, who has made some absolutely ginormous hits over the course of the first 3 games. This time he just shows his brute strength by pushing Armenta back and only gets him a gain of 2, and it's 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, nice play there by Porter. He's able to rally to the football from his strong safety position and really just make a nice play, stopping the ball carrier, running off tackle off the left side for a gain of about 1.5 approximately. They're going to give him 2 officially, setting up 2nd and 8 for Brookings here.
Now I formation, bring the fullback in as Jay Harris, the fullback, will be in the ball game. Anderson from under center. He'll hand it off, trying to go left side. Again, the Governor and defensive line showing nothing as Eisness is the one that gets the handoff. And Eisness gets nothing, maybe lost a couple steps, but it's 3rd down and 8, and Brookings again has to pick up a long 3rd down to keep the drive alive here in the first quarter with under 8 minutes to go in the first.
Yeah, nothing doing there For the Brookings ground game, Max Bogenhagen on the tackle, along with a host of other Governors, setting up 3rd and 8. No gain on that last run for Brookings.
Pistol formation here for Anderson. More of a passing down. See, the Governors can get off the field from the pistol. Two receivers on that far side. Anderson drops back to pass. Now he's going to roll to his left. He'll step up in the pocket, roll to the left. He's got a first down as he steps out of bounds inside the Governor 44-yard line. And it turns into a big gain. Ends up being a gain of 9, and it's a first down for Brookings as they needed 8. They got 9 from Anderson.
Yeah, just a nice job by Anderson. He felt the pressure there from Schmitz and Bogenhagen, and he's able to scramble out to his left, and he found some open grass in front of him and was escorted out of bounds by Logan Whitty, but he got 9 yards, only needed 8, and that moves the sticks for the Bobcats into Governor territory at the Governor 44.
1st and 10, from the Governor 44-yard line, pistol formation. 2 guys in the backfield with Anderson. Armenta will get the handoff, and he'll pick up 2 yards, and it's now 2nd and 8 again. They've been pretty consistent picking up those 2 to 3 yards on that first down run, which isn't a terrible thing to have. They're going in front of the sticks each time. They're not going by, they're playing within the sticks after every first down. And instead of going back, they haven't taken a loss yet of any kind. So 2nd down and 8 here for Brookings.
Yeah, Brookings just moving the ball forward. That's really the name of the game, as long as you're not going backwards via penalty or tackle for loss. They're doing everything right that they need to, and that's exactly what Coach Carter Gordon's after for the Brookings Bobcat offense.
Armenta handoff from the shotgun. He will get near the first down marker. I think they're going to stop him. They are going to spot him a 10-yard gain, and it's going to be 1st and 10 from now the Governor 33-yard line.
Another positive chunk play there for Armenta, able to squeak through the line, just kind of a between the tackles run there. And picking up 10 officially, to your point, John, brought down by Lathan Rounds, but another Bobcat first down.
He had 8 yards on the first 4 carries combined, and he has more than that after that, just that 1 carry. 1st and 10 from the 33. Handoff here for Eisnitz as he'll cut it to the right side outside the tackle. Started to lose his footing. Now he's being wrapped up. He's still pushing his way forward in a good first down run. Aiden Beam, along with also Will Eilers and Porter Hunsley making the tackle. And it turns into a nice gain on 1st and 10 from Eidness. Their best first down run of the night. It picks up 6, and it's 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, Eisness is just really picking up where Armenta left off. Brookings has got a good 1-2 punch in the backfield so far here, John. I really like what they're showing so far on the ground, and they're really chewing up clock as well.
As it's 2nd down and 4, 5:35 to go in the first quarter. From the Governor 27-yard line, handoff for Eisness again. He'll go up the middle another time. Takes 3 Governors and starting to push him back. The Brookings offensive line started to try and push forward. He'll get 3 yards and make it 3rd down and inches. I believe they're going to make it 3rd down. The referee's looking at it, and they will call for a measurement. So it's either no, they are going to say it's a first down. So it is a gain of 4 for Eisness, and it's 1st and 10 again here for the Governors from now the 23-yard line. This has already been the 10th play of the drive. This is play number 11 here for Brookings, and they're closing in still. They still haven't got there, but they're closing in the red zone. From under center, 1st and 10 for the 23. 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Anderson, he will hand off for Eisness. Bounces out left side. He trips and falls. There is a penalty flag that comes flying in. Is it going to be on Michael Nelson for a hold, or what the penalty might be? Usually it's thrown around that spot where there would be a hold.
Yep.
And Nelson might have been losing his foot and grabbed on for a hold, not meaning to get called for the penalty.
Yep, they're going to get a hold on Nelson. I think you're right, John. The referee just signaled that to the side judge. That'll back him up.
Offense, number 71, the 10-yard penalty, repeat the down.
So Nelson, the starting left tackle, one of the seniors for Brookings, gets called for the hold. And so they will back it up all the way to the 33-yard line. So it's 1st down and 20 to the 33 with 4:54 to go here in the first quarter.
And when you rely a lot on the run game, that's one of the things that is an absolute killer to a drive, is a penalty like that where you have to essentially force your hand and throw the ball.
Armenta will get the handoff. He will get most of those 10 yards back. It's now second down and probably 11. They're going to spot him at the 24. So Armenta gets another 11 yards. It's still behind the sticks right now. Second down, we'll call it a gain just of 9. So second and a gain of 8, and it's second down and 12.
Yeah, nice job by Armenta there, able to pick up everything, almost everything back to the line of gain, second and 11. So really it ends up essentially being just a loss of 1 on first down, what would have been a loss of 1 on first down for Brookings here.
Shotgun formation again, 2 receivers here on the near side. Handoff for Armenta. He will be wrapped up, and he cannot drive those feet forward. I believe it was it Max Schmitz? No, Sam Larson, the one that was right there to make the tackle. And it turns into a gain of 2, and it's third down and 10. And this is I would think, well, it may not be a passing down. You're third and 10 for the 23. You say if we can run the football and pick up 4 or 5 yards, we can maybe run the football again on fourth down. And third and long from the 50 or in your own territory is a passing down. This one, maybe not so much. Might be going for 4 down territory. From under center, I formation. They will go play action, rolling to the right, throwing on the run. It's up in the air, it's intercepted. Going to be Porter Hunsley that will get the interception, and then he's fighting off the tackle from number 10, Tetzlaff. Hunsley will make the interception, and it's first and 10 for the Governors.
Huge play there by Porter Hunsley. It looked like they could have gotten, they actually threw Cooper Terwilliger out there to pass rush on third and long, and Cooper actually got through, put some pressure on the quarterback in Anderson, and it looked like they probably could have thrown a flag on Anderson for a hold there, but Anderson threw it up there. It looked like he was looking for Tetzlaff on the play. Porter Hunsley playing center field like he always does, steps in front of the pass, picks it off, and ball's going the other way. First play for Pierre from the line of scrimmage. I couldn't tell if it was Merrill or Ducheneau, but it was Merrill, and that went for no gain. Got smacked at the line of scrimmage, but there was a flag on the play, possibly a false start here for Pierre.
Number 58, 10-yard penalty, keep it down.
Bryson Wallman gets called for the hold, and that will be half the distance to the goal as they started at their own 17 for this drive. So that will back them up inside the 10. They will spot it at the 8-yard line, so it ends up being a loss of 9.
First and 20 for the Governors.
So first down and 19 or so for Pierre, with 3:18 to go in this first period for the first quarter.
Pierre's been backed up here at this end zone before, John, and I think they got it in the hands of Carter Scheffelbein for a long touchdown. Let's see if they do it again.
They'll hand it off to Merrill this time. He'll try and get through that first initial rush of the Brookings defense. And Merrill will pick up about a gain of 3 or 4 to the 12-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 5, and it's second down and long here for Pierre. 2 runs for Carter Merrill, both being 5 yards. They'll get to the 13-yard line. They have to get out to the Governor to their own 26-yard line. Make that their own 27-yard line. Lounsbury drops back to pass. He'll throw over the middle. The catch is going to be made again. Scheffelbein trying to get free, and Scheffelbein's got the first down as he'll get out to the 28-yard line. A gain of 15 and a first down for the Governors.
And another Governor.
Nice play there by Scheffelbein. Just get it in his hands, John. He is so good with the ball in his hands, and just goes to show right there, pickup of about, 17, 18 yards on that pass play. First down for Pierre, and they move the sticks as they're approaching 2 minutes here to go at the end of the first quarter.
After a 13-play drive from Brookings, after Pierre headed for just 3 plays, here's Carter Merrill on the toss to the right side. He's got nothing doing. That defensive line was there. Tetzlaff lost his helmet. He'll have to go off for a play, but it is a gain of 2 for Merrill, and it's make that for Ducheneau, his first run, and Merrill will come back in. So Ducheneau's first run goes for 2, and it's second down and 8 with 1:40 to go here in the first quarter. And the Governors leading 6-0 on the American Family Insurance Brady Scheffelbein scoreboard.
Yeah, this is it's good to see Carter Merrill get the ball in his hands. Like you said, Ducheneau got that one, but they're going to give it to Merrill here.
As he'll go right side, he's got a big hole right side. Carter Merrill trying to get through two different Brookings Bobcats. He was wrapped up, thrown down, but he gets all the way out near the 50-yard line, and it turns into a gain of 20 for Carter Merrill, and it's 1st and 10 at the 50.
And that's exactly the juice that we saw last year that he brought to the run game, John. Carter Merrill going around the right side, able to pick up a huge chunk play for the Govs, and now the ball's the 50, approaching into Bobcat territory.
As we get near a minute left to go in this first quarter, Merrill will get the handoff again, right back up the middle. He'll pick up another 6 to 7 yards before he is dropped, and it's 2nd down and short here for the Governors. They'll call it a gain of 7, 2nd down and 3. This was the game last year where Carter Merrill really broke out against the Brookings Bobcats. Governors were shut out in that game, but Merrill was the bright spot for Pierre offensively. And then once he got that spot, he never looked back. And Carter Merrill has been a difference maker for this Governor team, was a big difference maker for them to reach the Dome last year.
Yeah, he really was. And it's good to see him back out there toting the rock, like you said, John. And he, again, just provides a spark, and he's done so again tonight.
Toss right side again. There will be a flag that flies from the snap. Merrill will get a gain of 1, and it will be with 19 seconds to go. And it looks like maybe Max Schmitz might get called for this one.
I think they're going to get him for a block in the back.
Illegal shift. Not set for 1 second, moving forward.
So they had a legal shift against the Governors. I don't think Terwilliger was moving forward. I think he was moving laterally. That's what Coach Steele is trying to say, but they will back him up 5 yards, and it'll, instead of being 2nd down and short, it'll be now 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, they threw the flag right away. I thought they were going to get Schmitz on maybe a block in the back because there was a free rusher that was getting into the Governor backfield, and I thought that was what the flag was for, but the ref threw it right at the snap of the football, so it was for that illegal shift.
So 19 seconds to go. 2nd down and 8 from the 48-yard line. Should be the final play of this first quarter if there is no incomplete pass. Toss to the right side again for Merrill as he tries to stay in bounds. Merrill almost slipped all the way through, but he is out of bounds as he gets all the way down to the Brookings 35-yard line, picks up a gain of 13, and it's 1st and 10 for the Governors. About ready to say other than possibly a touchdown as well, but it is 1st and 10 for the 35 with 13 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Boy, he just has juice in his legs, doesn't he, John? I mean, that's another chunk run that we've seen, and that's another dynamic that's going to be huge for this Governor offense moving forward.
Another toss right side. Merrill tries to cut it back to the middle of the field, right up the middle of the gut of the offensive line. He will fall forward to the 30-yard line, a gain of 5, and that will take us to the end of the first quarter. The Pierre Governors lead at 6-0 over Brookings at the end of the first 12 minutes. We'll step aside, come back with the second quarter. Listen to Pierre Governor football on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Did you know it is important for your child to see the dentist at the time their first tooth erupt? A healthy smile begins at birth, and there are many variables, from healthy eating habits to good oral hygiene and routine dental care. Hi, I am Dr. Michelle Hofer. At Missouri River Dentistry, we enjoy working with people of all ages. Dentistry is our profession, but people are our focus. I invite families to come experience an office that uses the latest techniques and equipment to be sure you receive that healthy and happy smile. To schedule your appointments for your family, call us at 223-2021. Kids love us, parents trust us.
Wagner Auto Company is your complete transportation headquarters. You'll find a great selection of quality new Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, and Jeep vehicles, plus a great selection of quality pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles. They'll take good care of you after the sale with a full-service parts and body shop, along with a friendly financing team that'll do their best to get you into your next new or pre-owned vehicle with financing that fits your budget. Wagner Auto is your local family-owned full-service dealership in Pierre. WagnerAuto.com. That's WagnerAuto.com.
As we walk you back, it will be the 8th play of the drive to start this second quarter. Governors will have it 2nd and 5 from the 30-yard line. Moving from left to right in Brookings territory as the Govs will look for a second score on their 2 drives. Lounsbury is in the pistol formation. Receiver on the left side that comes in motion, that is Shufflebine. They will have the jet sweep to the right side. As Shufflebine will get to the 25-yard line. That will be a completed pass for Lounsbury. And Shufflebine's got enough for a first down, should have enough for a first down. As they'll look at the first down sticks, it is a first down for Shufflebine. 4 catches now for 88 yards. All 4 completions have gone to Carter Shufflebine right now. All the targets have gone to Carter Shufflebine. And it's 1st and 10 for the 25-yard line.
Yeah, he is so explosive with the ball in his hands, like we talked about, John. 4 catches for 88 yards. That is a, he's getting about 22 yards a catch. He's averaging 22 yards a catch right now. That's huge.
Ducheneau will get the handoff right up the middle. He'll pick up another 5 to 6 yards as he falls forward inside the 20 to the 19. And Ducheneau has got 8 yards on his 2 carries, and the Governors make it 2nd down and 4 as they're now back into the red zone. This will be coming up. Will be play number 10 of this drive.
And the Govs now kind of have a 1-2 punch after if they can get Kea going here. He had a good couple games there at the start of the season. If we can get him going, he's going to be a nice addition as well.
Screen pass to Shufflebine. Stiff arms a man. He gets free. He will walk into the end zone for a touchdown. But there is a couple flags that will come in as he got to the end zone. Is he into the end zone with a touchdown and a penalty afterwards, or will there be a penalty called that helped him get into the end zone?
I think maybe one of both, because it looked like a flag came in after the play, and then there was a flag that was thrown right before he got in the end zone.
After the touchdown, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 7 on the offense.
So Carter Shufflebine gets called for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, but it is a touchdown for the Pierre Governors to make it 12-0. And the extra point pending, as that was a 19-yard catch for Carter Shufflebine from Caleb Lounsbury. And over 100 yards receiving and passing for both those guys because they've connected on all 5 passes so far.
I was going to say, nobody else has caught the ball for the Govs, John. That's 117 yards for Lounsbury passing, 117 yards for Shufflebine receiving. That's efficiency.
Carter Templeton's extra point. This one not blocked, and it goes right down the middle of the uprights, and it's a 13-0 lead for the Pierre Governors with just 10:47 to go in the first half. 13-0 lead for Pierre. Back in a minute, back in 30 seconds here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Are you building a new home or remodeling the old? Adding a fireplace can make a house a home. Olson Plumbing in Pierre carries a full line of Heat-A-Later fireplaces. Whether your taste is traditional or contemporary, Olson Plumbing has a great selection of Heat-A-Later fireplaces that will fit any style. Whether you're building new or updating, call Olson Plumbing. Heat-A-Later Fireplaces, the first name in fireplaces. Olson Plumbing in Pierre is your source for the industry's largest selection of indoor-outdoor fireplaces, either gas or wood, and outdoor fire pits. Stop by their showroom at 2803 East Wells or give them a call, 224-6436.
So what was a 10-play drive that ended up going for about 81 yards, and the Pierre Governors get the 19-yard touchdown and catch. I believe they should be, are they going to walk off well, maybe there is no 15-yard penalty after with all this, because the Governors didn't have that on the extra point, and they don't have it right now on the kickoff. So if they're not going to mark it off, and
unless they mark it off the end of the runoff, is that a?
I think it's usually either at the extra point or on the kickoff. But I guess either way, I think now the Brookings is saying, wait a second here, shouldn't this be moved back? They saw it too late, as Templeton will kick it off. It'll be fielded and then tripping and falling, and then that one kind of close to being a late hit. But Jude Meendering was the one that had it. And again, the referees missed the fact that they didn't mark the 15 yards off there. And now the referees are actually talking about this.
Yeah.
Are they going to make Pierre kick the ball again?
I think they might. And
I mean, it definitely, the Governors weren't going to say anything. Brookings was almost too late on it. We're going to hear from the referee. Oh, no, or maybe he's just going to go talk to Coach Steele. And I guarantee you Coach Steele is down there saying, play's already over. We've already got the play through. Or no, he's going to.
The penalty from the previous touchdown was not enforced. Okay.
That's a good call, John.
Yep, so they will re-kick it. I was going to say, they didn't have anything marked off. And, of course, if you're the Governors, you're almost pulled the fast one on the Bobcats. And Brookings, it took until the final second or two before the kickoff when they finally realized, wait a second here. This seems like a little too far up on the kick to be right. But they will back it up 15 yards from the 40, so it'll be starting at the 25-yard line now for the kickoff.
Yeah, that's a good call by you, John. And that gives me a nice segue to tell our viewing, to tell our listening audience how lucky they are, because your play-by-play announcer was recently surprised earlier this week with the award of the 2025 South Dakota Sports Broadcaster of the Year award. So you as the listening audience are very, very lucky and blessed to listen to John Winkler, listen to this man call many games, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer, you name it, he does it. We're very lucky to have him at KCCR as well, Riverfront Broadcasting Station.
As the kickoff will go out and it will be fielded by Brookings, they will get to the 37-yard line. And it will be 1st and 10 for Brookings. I do appreciate it, Blake. Thank you. But I appreciate you doing a lot of games with me. You have done a fantastic job every single time you're on the mic with me. And I've been fortunate enough to be able to call as many games with you now as I did with your dad, Greg. And, it's been so much fun being able to do it with you. It was so much fun for those years to do it with Greg, too. And I've been pretty fortunate to have some of the greatest color commentaries that Pierre has to offer.
Mendel Miller as well.
As a handoff up the middle for Armenta, he will be thrown around by Porter Hunsley, but he will actually pick up a couple extra yards on that play. And it will end up being a gain of 12, and it's 1st and 10 for the Bobcats as they near midfield of the 49-yard line.
Yeah, nice run there by Armenta. Big chunk play, and Brookings has really established the ground game, and really the only time that they got into trouble the last drive that they had was when they had the holding penalty that forced them back and forced their hand to pass, and Porter Hunsley was able to pick off the pass intended for Bergen Tetzlaff center field.
Armenta, another handoff. He'll cross midfield. He'll pick up about 4 yards on that first down carry, make it 2nd down and 6. And it's now 43 yards on 9 carries for Armenta. He's been the featured back. Isnes has run the ball 3 times. Anderson has only run it twice, so it's been mostly the Armenta show to this point with 9:40 to go in the first half, and Brookings is trying to get one of those 2 scores back. They will get the ball to start the second half. They're probably not going to take 9.5 minutes off the clock to try and score since they're already in plus territory. As Armenta will get another handoff, he'll get through the middle again, and it'll be wrapped up by Aiden Beam. And it's 6 yards and a first down for the Bobcats.
Yeah, Armenta, 49 yards on 10 carries. He's averaging almost 5 yards a carry. Governors really have to hold him in check if they're going to, control the narrative the rest of the way, because, Brookings is able to get essentially a first down every 2 plays, the rate that Armenta's running the football right now.
2 receivers on the far side, shotgun formation. Armenta still in the backfield here for the Bobcats. Anderson has run the ball just once for 9 yards as the quarterback. Armenta gets the handoff again right up the middle. He will try and get through and just was tripped up in time. And it's another first down for the Brookings Bobcats as they'll get inside the 30 to around the 28-yard line, a gain of 13. Hudson Stosher, the one with the trip up of the ankles. I didn't see who the tackle was, maybe Porter Hunsley. And it was Hunsley that got the ankles wrapped up in time. But another gain of 13 for Armenta, and they look like they're just going to continue to use Armenta. No reason to go to Isnes right now. Shotgun formation, 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. Another handoff for Armenta. He's going to be wearing out. He's keeping those legs moving. A short gain this time, but it still turns into a gain of about 4 to the 24-yard line. Max Schmitz and Sam Larson on the tackle. And it's 2nd down and 6 from the 24-yard line.
Yeah, why give it to anybody else? Armenta's picking up chunk play after chunk play, yard after yard, and Brookings is basically telling Pierre right now, hey, we're going to run the ball down your throat, try and stop us. And so far, the Governors haven't. Brookings has just beat themselves on their first drive. They've been able to run the ball effectively between the tackles so far.
Eisness is now into the ball game for Brookings. You have maybe a one-play break here for Armenta. Anderson play action. He was tripped up, but he stays on his feet. He will move to the left side. A penalty flag comes in, and then maybe another flag. They will not have another flag. Could have been a late hit out of bounds. But Anderson will pick him up for a first down, but there was a flag that looks like it will end up being a block in the back that will put the Brookings Bobcats not at 1st and 10 anymore. Armenta will come right back into the ballgame, I believe. We'll hear from our referee. By the way, the Pierre Governors are wearing their Aiden Van Balen jerseys tonight.
Block in the back. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
They got the black jerseys with the floral green in honor of Aiden Van Balen, who wore the floral shorts all the time to practice and all the time, just always had the floral shorts on, and a great tribute to that, to Aiden Van Balen. There's Tetzlaff that will run the ball to the right side. It's not a wildcat. We talk about the 18-wheeler package that the Governors had last year. That was the 18-wheeler package for the Brookings Bobcats. Holy moly, it was that a lot of weight that was on the right side of that line. And then Tetzlaff, and Birgit Tetzlaff, who is not a small guy either. He stands pretty tall and got a lot of weight to him, but it turns into a gain of only about 2, and it's 3rd down and long for Brookings.
Yeah, that was very reminiscent of E.J. Bucci, get him in the ball game, and it looks like Brookings is maybe going to take a timeout here. They are here on 3rd and long.
Tetzlaff is standing at 6'5", 235, and he had 3 guys in the backfield lined up to his right. I mean, it looked like where Tetzlaff was standing at that point didn't look like he was even lined up where the football was at, because they had overloaded that right side of the line by so much, and it didn't turn into a great gain for Brookings, but enough to move them a little bit closer. And Blake, 7:09 right now to go in the first half. It's 3rd and 14 for the 33. You got to feel like for the Bobcats, as Coach Gordon used that first time out, you're thinking 4-down territory, especially if you pick up some yards. You're not looking to maybe get a first down right now, but you're looking to make it manageable on 4th down for you.
You absolutely are. I think this is, you're not trying to take a deep shot like you were maybe on the first drive, to your point, because essentially they're just trying to get themselves into a 4th and manageable situation, because being down 2 scores with 7 minutes to go until halftime, you're just trying to pick up a first down any way you can. Doesn't matter what down you do it on. So I would anticipate, if they're going to pass it, going to be something short as far as a slant route maybe, or they might run the ball between the tackles with Armenta again, because he has been the offense so far for the Bobcats.
3rd down and 14 from the 33-yard line. 3 receivers out to the far side of the field. Anderson, he's only thrown the ball just twice. He'll drop back to pass here, rolling to his right. There should be a hold, and there is a throw. Catch will be made by Tetzlaff on the far side. He's got a first down, and he's will end up pushing it back. But a great throw from Anderson to get the first down. But it is going to be a hold, and it was a clear and obvious hold. Carson Lohr, the right tackle, is the one that gets called for the penalty. And so from 3rd and 14, that will end up backing it up to 3rd and 24 or so. They will spot it all the way back at the 42-yard line, 43-yard line. So 3rd down and 24 now for the Bobcats in Governor territory, with 6:57 to go here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, this is obvious passing down, but really Brookings might just try to play field position here, John. Maybe give the ball to Armenta and punt it away.
Yeah, see what maybe Armenta can do. That might be your best option. But Anderson will drop back to pass. Twilliger got free, but Anderson stepped up and rolled to his right. Now lobs it up in the air, and the catch will be made, and it's near a first down marker. Tetzlaff makes the catch, and from 3rd down and 24, it will be a gain of 24 and a first down for the Bobcats. Unbelievable catch by Tetzlaff.
Yeah, and that play was dead in the water because nobody touched Cooper Terwilliger coming off the edge. And nice job by Anderson, able to scramble to his right and make a huge throw. Great catch there by Bergen Tetzlaff. He is a fantastic athlete, standing 6'5", to your point, John. And he goes up, makes the grab, moves the sticks for the Bobcats.
1st and 10 now from the 17. Armenta will get the handoff, trying to go right up the middle. He is met by that defensive line. Those linebackers come in, and Armenta didn't even go down, but he got his forward progress stopped enough to pick up just only 3 yards, but still picked up 3 yards as he got to around the 14-yard line now for the Bobcats. 13 carries already in this first half for Armenta. He's got 69 yards in total. Under 6 minutes to go, halfway through this second quarter. The Governors still leading 13-0 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. 2 receivers on the far side. Armenta still in the backfield. Anderson, the quarterback, will take the snap. Handoff for Armenta again. He's wrapped up and thrown down. A really good play there. Lead by Max Schmitz, 55. And it turns into maybe a gain of 1. And we'll call it a gain of 2 or so to make it 3rd down and about 5 for the Bobcats from the 12-yard line.
And again, your offense has been Armenta and Tetzlaff. Those have been the 2 guys that have gotten the ball often for the Bobcats, apart from Anderson. Like you say, Anderson's only run it once so far. So look for one of those 2 guys to end up with the ball in their hands on this play.
2 receivers on each side from the shotgun. Anderson rolls to his right, still looking. He'll throw to the end zone. A man's open, but he overthrows Tetzlaff, who was open at that point. The Governors were chasing Anderson, left Tetzlaff open, but just overthrew him. And it's 4th down and 5 from the 12-yard line. And it looks like Brookings will be calling on to the kicker to try and make this a 13-3 game.
Yeah, your kicker's Drew Johnson. He's a senior, standing at 5'11", 175, and he's looking to bang this one through from about 29 yards.
I was going to say, yeah, 29-yard field goal. The kick is up. It's on its way. It's got the distance, and it is good. A 29-yard field goal from Drew Johnson makes it 13-3, and the Bobcats do find a way to get some points on the board as they trail by 10, 13-3 with 4:49 to go here in the first half. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
It was a 10-play drive that turns into a 29-yard field goal made from Drew Johnson. And the Brookings Bobcats get on the score sheets with 4:49 to go here in the first half. Both teams, this will only be the 3rd drive of the ball game for the Pierre Governors. You say, well, after last week, they only got 13 points to this point. Well, that's because they're 2 for 2 on scoring drives. They've only had the ball twice. So this will be the 3rd time they can try and get to 20 points before the end of the first half with 4:49 to go. But they will have to move fairly quick down the field. They do have a 3-play drive. They also have a 10-play drive that resulted in points. As the kickoff will go down the field, Jaron Deal bounces in front of him. He scoops it up as he was inside the 10-yard line. Deal gets hit, and as he goes down just shy of the 25. And Deal will give the Governors decent field position here from around the 24-yard line with 4:44 to go in this first half. And we'll see with the Governor offense if they can go 3 for 3 and put themselves potentially up by 17 before the end of the first half. Again, Brookings gets the ball to start the second half, so they really want a defensive stop to then go down, put some points on the board, and get potentially within 3. Caleb Lounsbury, pistol formation. Merrill in the backfield, 2 receivers on the far side. Toss to the right side for Merrill. As he's here on the near side, he'll get hit. He stays inbounds, so the clock will continue to run as he got to the 30-yard line, and I believe they spotted him right at the 30 for a gain of 6. And it's 2nd down and 4 here for the Governors.
Boy, Bergen Tetzloff is all over the field. I've got him down for 5 tackles so far, John. And then on top of that, he has been the number 1 target receiving-wise for the Bobcats. He is a playmaker for the red and white.
They called a gain of 7, 2nd down and 3 from the 30. They have to get it just beyond the 33-yard line. 4 minutes to go here in the first half. 10-point lead for the Governors. Lounsbury from the pistol. Another toss right side for Merrill, and he will be hit as he got spun around. He takes a lot of contact, does Carter Merrill, and I think he's got enough for a first down. They will get that first down, and it's 67 yards now for Carter Merrill and 8 carries. And the Governors got the first down of this drive. 3:40 remaining. They've got all 3 timeouts, and they're looking to score to put an exclamation point on this first half.
Yeah, it's like we talked about. Good to see Carter Merrill running the football with some aggression, able to sneak through around the right side. Governors have really been favoring that right side of the offensive line, running behind those guys, and they've been picking up chunk yardage.
They'll go left side this time with Cooper Twilger, who went over there. Merrill's got a big gain. He's past the 50, the 45. He's taking a Brookings Bobcat 5 yards down the field as he picks up another 5 yards on that carry. But there is a flag that is all the way back near that line of scrimmage, just beyond the 35-yard line, which will probably bring the Governors back. But what a run. Yeah, of course, it's a wet field, so it may be a little bit easy to kind of slide through, but the strength of Carter Merrill. So it'll be first down and long for the Governors, but his run that just carried Schneider with him for an extra 5 yards shows the strength, the leg strength of what Carter Merrill has for this Governor team.
Yeah, he is. He is aggressive, and that's one of the things that the Governors were missing in the ground game, like we talked about when he was not on the field for the first 3 weeks of the season. And he's coming back here and showing everybody why he is RB1 for the Governor offense, because he has picked up chunk yardage after chunk yardage, so far officially down for 67 yards on the ground on 8 carries. And I think this is another weapon that can unlock this offense, John, like we talked about. If you can get Carter Merrill going and give him the ball frequently, early and often, that unlocks a lot of opportunity for the play-action pass, getting guys like Scheffelbein and Dilgis and Terwilliger open in one-on-one matchups.
I think they're trying to figure out exactly where the ball should be spotted. They had the 10-yard penalty. Now, is it from the spot of the foul or from the original line of scrimmage?
I believe on a holding call, it's from where the infraction occurred at the high school level. I could be wrong about that, but
and I know if it happened behind the line of scrimmage, I think they take it from the original line of scrimmage. If it happened in front of the line of scrimmage, then they'll take it from the infraction. But Coach Steele, I think, is trying to argue that point right now, because the referee walked 10 yards from that line of scrimmage, but where the flag was thrown and would have been about 5 or 6 yards, or maybe not 5 or 6 yards, but at least 3 or 4 yards ahead of the line of scrimmage. So what would it be, 1st and 20? Coach Steele saying it should be 1st and 16. Is that going to make a difference? It very well could. 4 yards is 4 yards.
Yep.
And it might make a difference on this drive with 3:10 to go, and especially where you're at. You're trying to put points at the very end of this first half.
Yeah, a lot of confusion going on right now, and we'll see what the result ends up being, but it looks like they're going to keep the ball spotted where it is currently. So they're going to call it from the line of scrimmage, it looks like, and it'll remain 1st and 20.
So after all that, the clock can't even start either to start moving the game clock down. But we are back to football. 1st and 10 from the Governor 23-yard line. They're going to get to the Brookings 43-yard line. 2 receivers out far side, pistol formation. Merrill in the backfield. Lounsbury looked to pass, looking over the middle. He'll pump fake now. He'll throw. The catch is going to be made. It's Jaron Deal that makes the catch, and Deal will slip and fall, but he does have a good gain out to around that original line of scrimmage. So it turns into a gain of 10 for Deal, and it's 2nd down and 10 for the Governors. And someone other than Carter Scheffelbein makes a grab tonight for the Governors.
Yeah, and Jaron Deal's another weapon that the Governor offense can unlock. He is their primary kick returner, very shifty with the ball in his hands. And, you know, if you can get him going on some screen passes, he could be another Carter Scheffelbein type player in this Governor offense if you can unlock him as well.
2 receivers on the far side, pistol formation. Lounsbury looks to pass. They will pump fake. Now the throw is going to be bobbled and intercepted. The Bobcats will have it inside Governor territory as it was intercepted by Jones Hunnemer. And Hunnemer gets the interception. They tried the fake of the pump fake of the screenplay, and the throw down the far sideline ends up being picked off. Hunnemer wasn't fooled on it, and Brookings will have it 1st and 10 inside the Governor 35-yard line.
Yeah, just kind of a pump fake for Lounsbury. It looked like maybe he was trying to hit Deal on a slant and go or a curl and go, and you know, pump faked, and then he stared down that receiver the whole time, went to go throw the ball. Huntemer, to your point, read that the whole way, and he's able to pick it off and bring it back into Governor territory at about the 35-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Bobcats. And what do? They give it right back to Armenta for a gain of about 4 on that 1st down run.
Gus Armenta, 75 yards on 15 carries. My stat sheet goes to 29 carries. I think he's going to have more than that by the time the end of this ball game with 1:50 to go in this first half. 2 timeouts remaining for the Bobcats. Armenta, another handoff as he tried to go up the middle. He's going to get near the sticks another time, and it's going to be maybe 3rd down and 1 from the 15-yard line. Make that the 25-yard line. And it's 3rd and inches here. Gain of 5. And it's going to be 3rd and 1 from the 25. They're going to get to around the 24-yard line. Armenta, another handoff. He'll try to bounce it out right side, but the Governors were there. I don't think he got there. I think it's no gain. And Pierre was ready. Hudson Schaefer looks like he was on the tackle. And it's 4th down. And are they going to bring in that 18-wheeler type formation?
Looks like it, because Bergen Tetzloff's out there, and he looks like he is directing traffic right now. So it's going to be get the ball in the hands of Bergen Tetzloff and run straight ahead.
Under a minute to go. They've got everybody bunched up to that right side, and Coach Steele will take one of his 3 timeouts with 45 seconds remaining. It's not a bad timeout to try and make sure that the defense is ready to stop this play, but also you stop the clock, and if you do stop the Bobcats on 4th and 1, you'll have about 40 seconds to go down the field and try and score to end this first half.
With 2 timeouts, to your point.
Yep, 2 timeouts. And so this is a big play in this ball game. Not so much that it's 4th and 1. I guess it kind of does help that it's 4th and 1. But this is a play that Brookings can get within 3 and then potentially find themselves taking the lead in the first possession of the second half, or the Governors can go up by 17 before the end of the first half and create that separation that they want going into the locker room.
Yeah, this is a huge play, 4th and less than a yard, it looks like, to determine, potentially the momentum and who has momentum going into halftime here. Between Brookings possibly picking up this first down, they're not changing their play. They're going to give the ball to Bergen Tetzloff and let him try to pick up as many yards as he can, running straight ahead on essentially what's going to be a direct snap quarterback keeper dive.
Tetzloff is the quarterback. He'll get the snap. He'll try and get that 1 yard. He'll dive forward, and I think that line's going to push him far enough, and they end up pushing him about 4 extra yards, and it's a 1st and 10 for Brookings. And are they going to take a timeout? I believe they do take a timeout. And so the clock will stop at 38 seconds. and they'll have one timeout remaining. And so Brookings will take the timeout. Tetzlaff picks up 4 yards, and it's 1st and 10 from now the 20-yard line for the Pierre Governors, or for the Brookings Bobcats in Pierre Governor territory with just 36 seconds to go. That's a huge, that's one to maybe circle back in this ball game. If Brookings is able to win this game, or at least score on this possession, that's one that can be huge for the Bobcats at the end of the night.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a huge play, to your point, a huge drive, huge end of game sequence here, or end of half sequence rather, for the Bobcats, because if they're able to pick up enough yards to get into the field goal range of Drew Johnson, their kicker, he obviously has the range to make it from at least 30, maybe even 35 yards. And right now from the spot, you're looking at about a 37-yard field goal approximately. So if they pick up, anywhere between 5 and 10 yards, they're well within his range, and, could potentially, at the very least, kick a field goal to send us to halftime, if not punch this thing into the end zone and make it a 3-point ball game.
So 1st and 10 from the 20, right at the red zone with 36 seconds to go. Still a timeout remaining for the Bobcats. Pistol formation, and that will be a 5-yard pickup as the Governors will jump the snap on the clap from Anderson. And it's 1st and 5 now from the 15-yard line. Max Bogenhagen was one of those 2 guys that really tried to jump the snap. Eilers maybe went across the line, but Bogenhagen was the one that ended up hitting one of the offensive linemen.
That knocked him over, too.
1st and 5 of the 15. Anderson drops back to pass, looks to the far sideline. That will fall incomplete. Aiden Beam was there on the protection, and it groans from the Pierre Governor faithful as there is a flag that is thrown at the end of that play.
I think they're going to get Hudson Schaefer for a hold, a defensive holding, or a pass interference, one of the two, because he was draped all over the intended receiver on that play.
Which will put another first down for the Brookings Bobcats with 32 seconds to go.
Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty. Result of the play will be a first down.
Well, it won't be a 15-yard penalty, but we have the distance to the goal because 15 yards will put them in the end zone at that point. So we put them at 1st and goal, though. 1st and goal from around the 8-yard line. They will go to that power formation. Tetzlaff is the quarterback. 1st and goal from the 7. Tetzlaff trying to dive his way to the end zone, and he's going to be short. Clock will continue to run as we get down to 22 seconds. And timeout will be called by Brookings. This will be their final timeout. And so 2nd and goal from around the 4-yard line, a gain of 3 for Tetzlaff. And Blake, the timeout to be taken right now at 22 seconds might be also a timeout for Coach Gordon to say, hey, we're going to run this again, and if we don't get it, we have to get right back up and go for the next snap. We can't take our time, kind of putting that information into the kids' ears that you have no time to waste. So 22 seconds, no timeouts. If you don't score, you can run 2 plays off of this, and you can probably run potentially 3 plays depending on how quick the first one goes, but you have to move quickly, and you can't take your time after the play is over.
Yeah, this is going to be huge end of half execution, to your point, John, because you can't really stand around much. You do have one more timeout if you're Coach Gordon for Brookings.
No, that was their last
timeout. Okay, so you can't stand around. This is almost going to be one of those fire drill situations if they don't get in the end zone here with Tetzlaff.
2nd and goal from the 4. He will go to the left side. He will walk it into the end zone for a touchdown, and the Bobcats will score with just 18 seconds remaining here in the first half, and they're an extra point away from making this a 3-point game and a huge momentum swing for the Bobcats, because right now, unless they give up a score to the Governors in 18 seconds, they're going to go down by 3 to halftime and have an opportunity to take the lead in their first possession to start the second half. Johnson on for the extra point. That kick is up, and that will be going to be good to make it 13-10 with 18 seconds remaining here in the first half. Back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping wants to make it easy for you to get that lush green lawn and that yard haven that you've been dreaming of. Visit dakotasprinkler.com to make appointments for sprinkler system spring startup, service calls, fall winterization, and landscaping quotes. Trust Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping's professionals to get you through the planning and installation to make your landscaping needs a reality. Visit dakotasprinkler.com today.
So as we welcome you back, it is 18 seconds to go. Pierre Governors lead at 13-10 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. It was a 6-play drive, right around 35 yards of that drive, and a 4-yard touchdown run for Tetzlaff. As Bergen Tetzlaff makes it just a 3-point game. Johnson on the extra point. He's also got a 29-yard field goal. And we'll see if the Governors... They've got 2 timeouts, but only 18 seconds, so you're looking at 3 plays with those timeouts to try and score. As Johnson will kick this one away. Jaron Deal is pretty much the lone man back deep. Schuffelbein is back there as well. And it'll be a squib kick right up the middle, falling right on top of it with 30 at the 30-yard line with 17 seconds. And it will be 1st and 10. As Stingland is the one that fell on top of it. And so it's 1st and 10 from the 30. Governors have to go 70 yards down the field with 17 seconds and 2 timeouts. Maybe you call a run right here and see what Carter Merrill can get you and take one of those final 2 timeouts.
Yeah, the Governors are coming out in a spread formation here, though, John. They might look to put this one in the air, despite their last offensive play being an interception from Lounsbury trying to look for, I think it was Deal on that last one.
Be a toss right side for Merrill. He will try and cut it back. He got hit hard. He fumbled the football, and the Governors will fall on top of it with 8 seconds to go. It looks like the clock will just run out as it ended up being recovered, I believe, by Bryson Wallman, number 58. And that will take us to the end of the first half. So a gain of about 5 on that last run, and we head to halftime with a 13-10 lead for the Pierre Governors here on homecoming night. We will step aside for 3 minutes, come back with halftime stats. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on KCCR. You're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Pizza Ranch in Fort Pierre is a proud supporter of Pierre Governor Sports. Bring your crew to the ranch. We have hot buffet options, including legendary pizza, the country's best chicken, savory sides, nutritious salads, and delicious desserts. Perched right on the river, our Fort Pierre Pizza Ranch is only minutes from the South Dakota State Capitol building and right down the road from where the Pierre Governors play. The Pizza Ranch in Fort Pierre. Go Govs! Larry Fry Heating and Cooling has a new name. Kruger Climate Systems has acquired Larry Fry Heating and Cooling, but it's still the same great service. Your friend Larry Fry is still a manager, and his dedication to providing you with outstanding service remains unwavering. The same quality products and services you have come to expect from Larry Fry Heating and Cooling will continue under the new leadership of Kruger Climate Systems. You can still reach us at 605-224-9548 or email us at ryan@krugercontracting.com. Kruger Climate Systems, your certified Trane and Mitsubishi dealer in Central South Dakota.
When you bank with First Fidelity, we reinvest your deposit right back into our community. We make loans to local families, farms, and small businesses. Community reinvestment is one of our basic purposes. It's vital to the local economy. It also helps grow our community. Stop by one of our branches today. First Fidelity Bank, first-class banking on a first-name basis. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Online at ffb-sd.com.
Oh, shut the water off! Shut the water off! Oh, don't give me that look. I know you said to call Allied Plumbing and Heating. I read the instructions and I watched a couple of videos. I thought that I had this. Let me watch a couple more videos and I'll take care of it. Just go to your sister's. I'll have it fixed. Hello, Allied Plumbing and Heating. I need your help.
You can rely on your allies at Allied Plumbing and Heating. 605-494-2001.
When you're looking for quality trash pickup services, look no further than Envirotech. 6 days a week, their trucks are on the road picking up trash, even holidays. They're also the place to contact for recycling services. Their friendly, professional staff is ready to assist with weekly pickups or even special pickups. Check out the website at envirotechwaste.com. Envirotech is locally operated. Call 224-4804. Envirotech Waste Services in Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
We all want to be happy, but sometimes that doesn't feel possible. But if you have hope, you have everything. Rising Hope Counseling provides high-quality mental health services with locations across South Dakota. Additionally, by providing telehealth, we ensure South Dakota's rural residents have access to high-quality mental health services. Our team lives and works in your communities, and we understand the unique challenges we face. Schedule an appointment by phone or online today. Rising Hope Counseling, offering hope, healing, and change.
Hello, I'm Pastor Jeff Lathrop of Pierre First United Methodist Church, and I'd like to invite you to join us in person for worship on Sunday mornings at 8:30 a.m. or 11 a.m. You can also join us on Facebook Live or on KCCR 1240 a.m. or 98.9 FM for our Sunday morning broadcast at 11 a.m. Come worship with us at First United Methodist Church, where you will find open hearts, open minds, and open doors.
We welcome you back here at Hollister Field as we hit the halftime show. As the Pierre Governors, they lead at 13-10 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. 207 yards of total offense for the Pierre Governors, who scored on their first two drives of the ball game. A 73-yard drive went 3 plays, a 68-yard touchdown catch and run for Carter Shufflebine, then a 10-play drive that went about 81 yards and a 19-yard catch from, 19-yard catch from Carter Shufflebine again to make it a 13-0 lead for the Pierre Governors. But a field goal hit from Brookings, 29 yards out on a 10-play drive that made it 13-3. The Governors had an interception, which turned into a 6-play drive with about 35 yards and a 4-yard touchdown run from Tetzlaff and Bergen Tetzlaff to make it 13-10. And that is where we stand at the end of the first half. As Blake, before we start to get into the stats, we highlight a lot of Pierre Governors throughout a broadcast, but Bergen Tetzlaff for the Brookings Bobcats, he's been the best player on the field so far in the first 24 minutes.
Yeah, he has. He's been the best player for both teams. To your point, like you said, 35 yards receiving on 2 catches. He's run the ball 4 times for 13 yards and a touchdown. On defense, he has 5 tackles. He's blocked an extra point. He forced a fumble of Carter Merrill on that last drive to shut down any chance the Governors had of moving down the field on that last drive. He has, number 10 in white, has been the best player on the field on either side, and there's a reason why in short yardage situations you're going to see the ball in his hands more often than not. And with a last name like Tetzlaff, I mean, there's been so many athletes that's last names have been Tetzlaff around the state of South Dakota. Pierre has been lucky enough to see athletes like that in the past with those last names. I think one of them still holds the 110 hurdles record, or at least did for a while, for a short time. But with a last name like Tetzlaff, they're going to be athletic, and Bergen is showing why he is every bit of that in the 6'5", 235-pound senior.
So looking at the offensive stats here for the Brookings Bobcats, Gus Armenta has been the bulk of the offense with 80 yards on 17 carries. The remaining plays have been a total of 12 plays. He's had run the ball over half the time offensively for the Brookings Bobcats. Eisnitz has run the ball 3 times for 10 yards, 13 yards for Tetzlaff, as we mentioned, on 4 carries. 1 rush of 9 yards for the quarterback, Gavin Anderson. He has thrown the ball 4 times. He's 2 for 4 for 35 yards. Both receptions go to Tetzlaff, and an interception for Gavin Anderson. For the Pierre Governors offensively, Carter Merrill's got 9 carries for 72 yards. That's a good average of 8 yards per carry. 8 yards on 2 carries for Kea Duchino, and then Caleb Lounsbury has thrown the ball 7 times, 6 of 7 passing, 2 touchdowns, an interception for 127 yards. 117 of those 127 yards have gone to Carter Shufflebine. He's made 5 catches, and Jaron Deal has made the other catch of 10 yards for the Governor offense so far, who really had just 3 drives the entire time, because it was 2 touchdowns and interception, then 1 play in halftime for the Pierre Governors on that run from Carter Merrill where he fumbled and recovered it, but the clock ran out. And 3 drives as well for Brookings that went interception, field goal, and touchdown. Defensively, you mentioned for Tetzlaff for Brookings, but the Governors, Porter Hudsley has been all over the ball with 6 tackles so far to lead the Governors. I make that, 6 tackles and an interception for the Pierre Governors. He's been the best defensive guy so far for Pierre.
Yeah, he has. Porter's been all over the field as expected. He really showed and flashed. Didn't start last year as a freshman right away, but came in kind of right away at the beginning of the season. I think the first game up in Aberdeen Central, he came in and filled in for an injured player and really hasn't looked back since. And he has been the best defensive player for the Govs here tonight. A couple other guys that have flashed. Will Eilers has 3.5 tackles. Max Schmitz has 3.5 tackles. Hudson Schaefer has a couple tackles, 2.5. Sam Larson's got 3. Aiden Beam's got 2.5. A lot of guys around the football for the Governor defense, but you're getting a lot of opportunities to make tackles when Brookings has run the ball, just with Armenta 17 times for 80 yards. Tetzlaff obviously with 4 carries for 13 and a touchdown, and then Eidsness 3 for 10. So 23 and 80 is 103 yards on the ground for Brookings on multiple over 20 rushing attempts. That's a lot of opportunities for guys to make tackles, and the Governors have so far.
Pierre Governors lead at 13-10 at the end of the first half. We'll take another break. We'll come back and tell you scores from around the state. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Hello, I'm Pastor Jeff Lathrop of Pierre First and Methodist Church, and I'd like to invite you to join us in person for worship on Sunday mornings at 8:30 a.m. or 11 a.m. You can also join us on Facebook Live or on KCCR 1240 a.m. or 98.9 FM for our Sunday morning broadcast at 11 a.m. Come worship with us at First and Methodist Church, where you will find open hearts, open minds, and open doors.
River Bottom Sanitation, your locally owned waste management company serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre communities. Contact River Bottom Sanitation for your residential and commercial pickups. Now River Bottom Sanitation is your source for all your roll-off needs. River Bottom Sanitation in Pierre and Fort Pierre. Give them a call for pricing at 605-222-1120. River Bottom Sanitation. That's 605-222-1120. Sanford Health Pierre Clinic provides comprehensive and convenient care to Pierre, South Dakota and its surrounding communities. We care for all your health needs, including preventive care, pediatric health, annual checkups, chronic disease care, and more. Schedule an appointment today at 605-945-5560. Ask about our heart health specialist. Visit this clinic on the second Tuesday of every month. Sanford Health Clinic Pierre, 605-945-5560.
Is your roof ready for the next South Dakota storm? Don't wait till it's too late. For over 25 years, Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction has been serving Central South Dakota with quality roofing and construction. He has now added gutters. We offer dependable service, guaranteed workmanship, and no unnecessary flash or fuss. Just reliable protection for your home. Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction. Experience you can trust. Call today, 605-280-8133. Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction, serving Central South Dakota for over 25 years.
Ready for the biggest savings of the season? The Slumberland Labor Day sale is on now in Pierre. Save big on famous brands like Lazy Boy, Sealy, and Steams & Foster. From living rooms to bedrooms and mattresses to dining sets, the entire store is on sale. Whether you're refreshing one room or the whole house, now is the time to buy and save. Hurry into Slumberland Labor Day sale, 920 North Garfield Avenue on the Truck Bypass in Pierre.
Today's game is made possible by our great local sponsors like Kathy Sunshine Properties. Whether you're buying, selling, or looking for your forever home, Kathy and her crew are here to help make your move simple and stress-free. With local expertise and commitment to their clients, they are ready to go to work for you. Call 605-224-5588 today or visit contactkathy.com. Kathy Sunshine Properties, turning your dreams into an address.
As we welcome you back, it is a 13-10 lead for the Pierre Governors over the Brookings Bobcats. The American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. We've got scores from around the state from Blake Dean.
Yeah, obviously, halftime of this game, Pierre over Brookings 13-10 at halftime. Other scores from around 11AA, Huron with a 12-9 lead over Sturgis at the half. T Area with a 31-0 lead over Douglas at halftime. Spearfish up 14-0 over Aberdeen Central at halftime in that game. And Watertown up 22-6 over Mitchell just about at halftime in that game in Mitchell. Scores from around the area. New Underwood has a 28-6 lead over Jones County at halftime. Lyman has a 26-8 lead over Bennett County, at the end of the first half. Sully Buttes is up 14-0 over Gettysburg. Just about a minute left to go until halftime of that game. Gregory with a 40-6 lead over Stanley County with a quarter and a half, or about a half of a quarter left until halftime of that game. And then Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sandporn Central, the Bucks have a 13-6 lead over the Winter Warriors at halftime of that game. Miller Highmore Herald is off this week. They play Winter next week in their matchup. And then in 11 AAA, we have the O'Gorman Knights with a 23-0 lead over Rapid City Central at McEnany Field in Sioux Falls, who the Govs will see next week.
2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today, excuse me.
And also remember, too, that's a 5 o'clock start to that game. So what usually is a 7 o'clock game will be a 5 o'clock game. There's a Thursday night game when Pierre plays Douglas here in Pierre. That'll be a 6 o'clock start, but it'll be a 5 o'clock Friday night game, which on KCCR will have that game. And I believe, and I have to go back and check, but there is a football game, college football game. BYU is playing somebody that night with coverage at 9 o'clock, so we're going to have a doubleheader, basically, of football on a Friday night, which will be high school followed by college football, which is very rare that we get a chance to do high school football with a college football game after that. But we'll have that coming up here in a couple weeks for Pierre and O'Gorman. Next week we're in Yankton. That'll be the far trip down to Yankton. That's going to be a big game.
Yep.
With the Yankton Bucks, who seemingly seem to be the best team in 11 AA. Governors obviously wanted to win to show that they're the best team. That Huron-Sturgis game is an interesting one because I don't know a lot of people had that one circled on the calendar that was going to be probably the best game of the week, or the two best teams playing against each other. Obviously, Pierre and Brookings also at 2-1, but Sturgis being at 3-0 and Huron being 2-1, that has a lot of playoff implications in week 4 of the season for those two teams.
It really does. 12-9 at halftime of that game, Huron over Sturgis. But you're right, ranked 2 and 3 in the state in 11 AA are the Tigers and the Scoopers. So that's a huge game. Like you said, 4 weeks ago, nobody thought that would have been the case. That would have been a game of intrigue around the state, and it sure is here on Friday night, September 19th, after 3 weeks of play so far. And like you said, Pierre goes down to Yankton next week. That's a huge game because the Governors are going to be probably underdogs in that game for the first time in a long time, going down to Yankton. So it'll be a huge opportunity for them to show what they're made of next week at Crane Youngworth Field in Yankton. But like you said, this Yankton Buck team is no joke. They've the lowest number of points scored so far this year was their first game against Huron, and they still hung up 41 points.
It will be a fun matchup next week, but we've got a fun matchup still here in the second half between the Pierre Governors and the Brookings Bobcats. 13-10 at the end of the first half. Back in 2 minutes for the start of the second half. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
This fall, Beck Motor Company, your Heartland Chevy dealer, is proud to support our local athletes and all the fall sports that bring our community together. At BMC, we're here to take the stress out of car buying and maintenance. Whether you're in for routine service or looking to drive home in a brand new Chevy, you'll find a team that's honest, helpful, and ready to go the extra mile. Beck Motor Company, we're making a great deal better. www.beckmotors.com.
Becky Pottsaba and State Farm Insurance are here to help you with your insurance and banking needs. State Farm's not just insurance. It's banking, investments, IRAs, loans, and a whole lot more. We offer guidance in a personal and caring way that helps you manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and find ways to control costs so you can realize your dreams. We know how life is, and we're here for you. Stop in to see Becky at 1315 East Wells Avenue in Pierre, or call Becky at 224-4173.
You know that feeling when you're exactly where you're meant to be? That's what it feels like to bank at First National Bank Pierre. We're not some big faceless corporation. We're your neighbors. We're the people you see at the grocery store, at the local ball game. We're committed to helping this community grow one person at a time. Need a loan for your new home? Or maybe you're starting that business you've always dreamed of. Our team is here ready to listen and help you find the right financial solution. Because at First National Bank in Pierre, we believe in hometown banking. Visit us at one of our 2 locations in Pierre or our Fort Pierre location. First National Bank, your hometown bank.
When you're in the need for high-quality replacement auto parts, look no further than Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop in Pierre. Zander's has been servicing the Pierre area for over 40 years. Their professional parts techs can get you the parts you need and get you back on the road. Stop by Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop at 500 West Sioux in Pierre or call 224-9221. Zander's, your source for domestic and foreign auto parts and accessories.
We welcome you back as we are set for the second half between the Pierre Governors and the Brookings Bobcats, as Brookings will get the ball to start this third quarter. John Winkler alongside Blake Dean on this Friday night. There was a little bit of thought Thursday that maybe we'd have to play Saturday, but the field, Blake, overall is kind of, I mean, it's obviously was going to be muddy regardless, but it's held up fairly nice throughout this evening, and it will be nice here in a couple weeks. We hope that the Governors will be at home and it will be a dry night and we can really enjoy the beauty of Hollister Field.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see what Hollister looks like at the end of the night when it's not torn to shreds with it being as wet as it's been so far in the first 2 home games, because it's really one of the nicer grass fields in the state.
We are underway here in the second half as the kickoff from Templeton goes out to around the 15-yard line, and Brookings will get the ball past the 30-yard line, maybe right at the 30. And so we'll be 1st and 10 to start the second half, and the Bobcats have an opportunity to take the lead for the first time tonight. Rowdy Menning on the tackle. 1st and 10, they will spot it right at the 30-yard line. This is a big drive to start this second half, and how much will the Brookings Bobcats want to take time off the clock to try and score? They can take, I mean, they took about 6 minutes off the clock or so when they got the 29-yard field goal. 1st and 10 from the 32 receivers near side. Handoff for Armenta. He will try and move his way, shift his way around. He'll pick up about 9 yards to the 39. A really good first down run for Armenta, as he's now up to 89 yards rushing on 18 carries. And Brookings is in business on that first play from scrimmage. Lincoln Schoenhardt on the tackle for the Governors.
Yeah, you're going to see a heavy dose of Gus Armenta and Bergen Tetzlaff offensively for the Bobcats in the second half, just like he did in the first half, because Governors didn't stop them in the first half, really. The Brookings kind of beat themselves on both drives where they didn't score, and those guys are a heavy factor in the offense.
Armenta gets another handoff. He's got another first down, and he'll pick up about 7 yards past the 45 to the 46-yard line, a gain of 7. Well, maybe we'll call it just a gain of 6, but either way, it's 1st and 10 here for the Bobcats.
Yeah, Porter Hunsley again on the tackle. 7 tackles so far for the sophomore, but to your point, John, you got to give credit to this Brookings offensive line, too. Michael Nelson, Brady Caraway, Dylan Reynolds, Jackson Neff, and Carson Lohr, the 5 on the field for the red and white. They have really established the point of attack so far.
Armenta with a little bit of hesitation on that handoff. He'll pick up a gain of 1, but that defensive line finally breaks through to allow just only a gain of 1 yard. And it's 2nd down and 9 from the 46-yard line.
Yeah, nice job there. Shedding his blocker was Max Schmitz, and able to wrap up Armenta for only a gain of 1 on that play. This could be a very big series right here for the Governor defense. They've done a good job all year of holding opponents to manageable scores, and we'll see if they're able to do that on this drive here to start the third quarter.
Still in Brookings territory, showing hard, showing blitz. A throw down the middle of the field for Tetzlaff. It'll fall incomplete, and there will be no flag that is thrown. Brookings 1-1, but that ball was well overthrown, and a couple of guys that just kind of got their tangled feet with Porter Hunsley in coverage, and it's 3rd down and 9 here for the Bobcats. That was only the 5th pass attempt of the ball game for Anderson. He's now 2 of 5, and it's 3rd down and 9 here for Brookings.
Yeah, that was your best against our best on that pass play, John. You had Gavin Anderson going back, looking to hit Bergen Tetzlaff for a big play over the top, and Porter Hunsley and him just kind of get their feet tangled up, and both fall to the grass here harmlessly, but the ball falls incomplete, setting up 3rd and 9.
Anderson will drop back to pass. He's rolling to his right, steps up, avoids the sack. He is hit. The Governors will not allow him to get farther than an extra yard. And it's 4th down and 8. His second run tonight results in just that 1 yard. Could have been worse for Brookings, but they will still have to punt the ball away, and a big defensive stand for this Governor defense on the first drive of the second half. Sam Larson helping with that tackle. Took 2.5 minutes off the clock. Carter Schuffelbein will be back deep to receive the punt, as I believe it will be Drew Johnson that's punting the ball away as well. As it will be the punt, and from Johnson, it'll be a short punt. It will take a Bobcats roll, and it will find its way inside the 25-yard line to around the 20. And it will be 1st and 10 for the Governors. And our first punt tonight.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. First punt tonight for either team. Great stand by the Governor defense to start this third quarter. And a punt for Brookings to start this third quarter here. And, like we talked about, that's the positive momentum that Brookings took into the half. The Governors are starting to swing it back their way here with that stop.
There's not many times a 13-10 ball game in the third quarter and you hear that you punt the ball for the first time. There's only 2 turnovers, 1 from each team. That's how much time came off the clock continually in that first half. Here's a handoff for Carter Merrill from the 18-yard line where they start their drive, and Merrill's got nothing going. That defensive line was all wrapped around Merrill for maybe a gain of 1 to make it 2nd down and 9. 73 yards, though, for Carter Merrill on 10 carries. Good average of 7.3 yards per carry. Limited to just 1 that time, but it is a really good night for Merrill in his first night playing for the Pierre Governors this year. 2nd down and 9. Play action. Lounsbury rolling to his right. He'll throw back to Jaron Deal. That will fall incomplete. And boy, it's got to be incomplete, or they're going to call it a catch. I mean, Governors will take it. They will call it incomplete.
Yeah, that's the right call.
It definitely was incomplete, but there was some question from both referees to see if to make sure, and then a third referee came in and said it hit the ground, and it's 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, that's the right call, and Jaron Deal's going to sell that all day, as he should. I mean, that's what you do when you're a competitor, but that was an incomplete pass. All 3 officials came together and made the correct call on that play.
So it's 3rd down and 9 from the 19-yard line. Lounsbury drops back to pass. He'll roll to his right. He's going to take off with it. He will jump over and step over his man, but then he is wrapped up and he's got nowhere to go. And it's going to be 4th down and long, and the Governors will now have to punt the ball away, as Lounsbury didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He ends up losing 2 yards to make it 4th down and 11. The first time that Lounsbury has any type of rushing yards or a rush of any kind. And it's now 4th and long. And after both teams didn't punt the ball in the first half, both teams end up punting on their first drive here in the second half.
And I wonder if Lounsbury might be a little bit hobbled on that play, John, because he did not look like he got going very quickly out of the pocket on that play.
This will take a Governor bounce after it popped up in the air, and it will land at the 50-yard line. It is down by number 15, Hudson Stosher. And so it turns into 1st and 10 now for the Bobcats at the 50-yard line. And we now go back to the Bobcats side of things offensively. After they had what turned into a 5-play drive, resulted in a punt. The Governors only had the 3 plays resulting in a punt. 7:33 to go here in the third quarter, and the Bobcats again have a chance to take the lead.
Yeah, they do. We'll see what what they can put together. Obviously, we're probably going to see Arenta quite a bit, and maybe Tetzlaff as well.
Armenta with 96 yards on 20 carries. He's in the backfield, 1st and 10 from the shotgun. They continue to hand it off to him. Another hesitation, and Armenta will pick up about 4 yards inside for sure now Governor territory. And he'll be spotted at the Governor 46-yard line. They get spotted at maybe the 47. They will be at the 46. So 100 yards now on 21 carries for Gus Armenta.
And Armenta's not a huge guy, John. He's only listed at 5'10", 185, but behind all those linemen, he just kind of hides behind those guys and is able to, they're able to create decent running lanes for him, and he's able to kind of squirt through and pick up chunk plays, and quite a few of them, like we talked about to this point.
From under center, here's Armenta again, make that Eisness on the run that time. And Eisness doesn't get much more than a yard. And it's a gain of just 1 at the 45, and it's 3rd down and 5 now for the Bobcats. Eisness with 11 yards rushing on 4 carries. Well, they're going to spot it just past the 45. It's a long 4, short 5 for the Bobcats, and they will go back to the 18-wheeler formation as it'll be Bergen Tetzlaff, the quarterback. Governors have everybody in the box, and Tetzlaff, he's not going to pick up the 1st down, but it will be a 4th down and manageable, and it might have been a kind of a tush-push type of thing where you say, well, we've got 3rd down and a certain amount. We can pick up 2 or 3 yards, and we'll do it again another time to pick up 1st down, as it turns into a gain of about 3, and it's 4th down and a long 2 now for the Bobcats, and they are going to go for it.
Yeah, and you go right back to that play because you picked up a couple on that play. Gov's defensive line is really going to have to get a push because that's exactly the play they're going to go to here.
Tetzlaff on the run. He's got a 1st down, and he will get past the 35, and he was able to slip through another tackler before he got to the 31. Gain of 11 on 4th down for Brookings, and the Bobcats are in business on this drive trying to take the lead.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you do. You fake the dive into the pile because you make everybody think that's the way you're going to go, and then you pop one out around the right side for a big chunk play. Bergen Tetzlaff is not only a great athlete, but he has got a really high IQ as well.
Armenta back in the backfield now for the Bobcats. 5:30 to go in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line in Governor territory, moving from right to left. Armenta with the handoff right up the middle. He is wrapped up for a gain of just about 1 or 2. As Sam Larson was the one on the tackle, and a 2nd down and 8. And this Brookings team down by 3 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. They're threatening to try and take the lead for the 1st time tonight.
We're starting to see Sam Larson flash a little bit too, John. I think he had 2.5 tackles going into halftime. He's already up to 6.5 so far early in this 2nd half so far.
4:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 8. Armenta, another run up the middle. He's wrapped up by Max Schmitz. He keeps those legs moving. And Schmitz will eventually, with a little bit of help from the Governors, bring him down as he got to around the 27-yard line. A gain of about 2 to make it 3rd down and 6 here for the Bobcats from the 27-yard line.
Yeah, just kind of another run between the tackles for Armenta, and Schmitz was all over that. He has flashed as well on the Governor defensive line, shedding blockers, making tackles not only in run fits, but also getting to the quarterback into the backfield a little bit as well.
2 receivers on the far side. Handoff for Eisness. He'll try and cut it left side. He's got nowhere going, and the Governors wrap him up, and it's going to be 4th down and long now for the Bobcats as Max Schmitz is there for another tackle. And now what does Brookings want to do as they lost a yard with Eisness to make it now, or they're going to spot him right at the 27-yard line. And so no gain. It is 4th down and 6 from the 27-yard line.
Do they run Bergen Tetzlaff again? I mean,
I think you're too far away to run Bergen Tetzlaff right now, right?
Are you?
I
get the ball in the hands of the best player on the field. I think that's, and they're going to go for it. At least they're going to line up anyway. Maybe try and get the Govs jump off sides.
Yeah,
we'll
maybe.
See.
you're looking at like a 45-yard field goal or so from this spot. Play clock is still above 10. 3:10 to go here in the third quarter. Anderson will get the snap. He's going to look for Tetzlaff. He throws it to the end zone. Hunsley with the hand on it. It is caught by Tetzlaff, and a touchdown for the Bobcats from 27 yards out on 4th and 6. The Bobcats take the lead 16-13. An incredible catch by Bergen Tetzlaff.
Again, your best against our best, and that's Tetzlaff against Hunsley. Porter got a hand on it, but Bergen Tetzlaff says, I'm too big, too fast, too strong, and he's able to rip it right out of the hands of the sophomore and put the Bobcats up by 3, at least at this point, pending the extra kick from Johnson. It's through the uprights and good. Brookings with a 4-point lead with 3:03 to go in the third quarter.
So it is 17-13. Brookings has their first lead tonight. Back in 30 seconds here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Home Care Services is a private agency committed to providing expert advice and specialized care to those who want to remain living independently at home. Home Care Service has a team of nurses, caregivers, and administrative staff that offers 30-plus years of in-home support services to our local communities. For more information about Home Care Services, call 224-2273. Expert advice, professional care. Home Care Services, 224-2273.
So what turns into an 8-play, 50-yard drive and a 27-yard touchdown catch from Bergen Tetzlaff from Gavin Anderson on 4th down and 6. The second 4th down conversion of that drive. And the Pierre Governors now trail at 17-13 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. Jaron Deal is back deep for the Pierre Governors. Drew Johnson, who has kicked a field goal and those 2 extra points to give this Bobcats team a 4-point lead. Shufflebine will catch over on that far side. See if he can pick up some speed. He's met and wrapped up, and he'll get past the 30-yard line. And the Governors will have a good field position to start this next drive, and they need it. They need a score here. It's not essential to win the ball game, but this feels like a must-score drive after a 13-0 lead for the Governors. 17 straight points for the Bobcats. Blake, you feel like Pierre's offense has to score on this drive.
Yeah, this is huge for the momentum of the ball game right here, John. You gotta get the momentum going back towards your side because both teams punted to start the third quarter. Brookings goes down and scores on a 50-yard drive. They're going to get the ball into the hands of Merrill on the first play. He's stopped behind the line, but we're getting a penalty flag thrown at the line of scrimmage. We'll see what the penalty is.
Yeah, right now it was a loss of about 2 from Merrill. He might have slipped and fell, but now is it going to be a long discussion that maybe this could be on Brookings, but usually that throw from the flag in that spot is going to be called a hold. Outside of potential, it is a hold that's going to be against the Governors.
Holding. Offense, number 55. 10-yard penalty, repeat for down.
As Max Schmitz, that gets called for the hold. So they will back him up 10 yards and make it 1st and 20 from the 21-yard line here for the Governors with 2:47 to go. And we mentioned how both teams didn't punt the ball in the first half, and it was only a 13-10 score. However long this drive goes for Pierre, if they don't put up points, that makes it that much easier. It's still going to be tough, but makes it easier for the Bobcats to try and run out the time because they can run a lot of time off. Everything's between the tackles for them going up the middle of the field. That clock continues to roll. A 8-play drive can take a lot of time off the clock like it did just now. 2:47 to go here in the third quarter. 1st and 20 from the 21-yard line. 2 guys in the backfield. Twilliger is, I believe, lined up in the backfield. They'll hand it off for Merrill as he tries to go left side. That offensive line is giving him a big push, but Merrill just couldn't find anywhere to really get moving up the field. And it will be a gain of about 2 for the Governors. And it's now 2nd down and 18 from the 23-yard line.
Yeah, Merrill was just trying to get going. Didn't see the hole that kind of opened up to his right. He does pick up a couple, to your point, John, but it's 2nd and 18 for the Govs from their own 23.
2:10 to go here in the third quarter. Shotgun formation here for the Governors. Two receivers here on the near side. Lounsbury drops back to pass. He'll throw down the field. Shuffle behind is overthrown, and it will fall incomplete. Again, you'd rather miss long. There is a flag at the end of that play, or back at the line of scrimmage, or really where Lounsbury was at.
Offense, number 69, 30-yard penalty, defensive down.
They're going to back him up again. I would think with it being third down, I was going to say, it was 2nd and 18, an incomplete pass. I'd rather go 3rd and 18 than 2nd and 28. Falls incomplete, and it's 3rd down and long now for the Governors. They've got to get to the 41-yard line for a first down.
Yeah, and they were trying to hit Shufflebein over the top on that last play. He did leak out behind the defenders, just a little bit too far, a little bit too much mustard on the throw from Caleb Lounsbury, setting up, to your point, 3rd and 18. And I think that's a smart play from Carter Gordon there on the coaching side. Decline the penalty. The down means more to you than the yardage does at this point.
Under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Shotgun formation. Lounsbury drops back to pass, looking to his left, now throws it down the field, looking for Terwilliger, and it's going to be overthrown again, and it will fall incomplete, and it will be 4th down and long here for the Governors, and they will punt the ball away, and it turns into a 3-and-out for the Governors.
And I could be wrong, John, but I think that was the first target of Terwilliger in the ball game. You don't see that very often with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, that he's getting his first target in a ball game, as good of an athlete as he is and as good a football player as he is.
Yeah, and, Lounsbury now 6 of 10, and everything that, one interception, but then on top of it, they've gone to Shufflebein on all those incompletions, as Lounsbury will punt this one away. And this will be a nice spiraling punt, backing up. It will bounce, and it will go all the way inside the 15 to around the 10-yard line. So Lounsbury, who punted it from around his 15-yard line, goes all the way down to the Brookings 11-yard line, and that's a huge flip of the field, and forcing Brookings to take its to try and make it a 2-score game. If they end up scoring a touchdown, they're going to go 89 yards down the field.
And that's the weapon that Caleb Lounsbury provides when he punts the football, John. We've talked about this before. He has the potential, when he hits the ball right, he has an absolute cannon on his leg, and that one was a great example of that. I think they gave him 67 yards on the punt officially. Backs Brookings up inside their own 20. They're going to start at their own 11, to your point. 1st and 10 for the Bobcats.
2 receivers out on the far side. They will keep it with Anderson. He will run it for just the 3rd time. He's run down from behind for a gain of maybe 1. And it's 2nd down and 9. And as he has picked up just 11 yards on 3 carries, trying to maybe catch the Governor sleeping, that you expect the ball to go to Armenta every time, and he ends up keeping it himself, picking up just that 1 yard, but 2nd and long here for Brookings.
Yeah, they've kind of, to your point, you think that you maybe have tried to lull the Govs to sleep a little bit with the constant runs to Armenta between the tackles, and you tried to catch him off guard with Anderson keeping it on the quarterback keeper around the right side on that one. Sam Larson wasn't fooled, only a gain of a half yard.
Anderson drops back to pass. He's rolling to his right. He's going to roll out and be hit out of bounds. And it's going to be 3rd down. Sam Larson was the one that shoved him out of bounds. 3rd down and medium here for Brookings. Clock is stopped with 50 seconds to go in the third quarter. This is a big 3rd down. The meme of every 3rd down is big. This one has a lot to it here for the Pierre Governors, as it's 3rd down and 4, a gain of 5 for Anderson. 3rd and 4 from the 17. Clock is stopped with 50 seconds to go here in the third quarter. They will line up in the 18-wheeler package. Bergen Tetzlaff will be the quarterback. Everybody's in the box, so moves to the left side. Tetzlaff goes outside the tackle, and he's going to be wrapped up, and hardly any gain. He'll end up actually picking up enough for a 1st down. Boy, it looked like he didn't gain anything, but now a flag at the end of that play. Another flag will come in, as it's the referee that throws his hat up in the air. And that's usually not a good sign when a referee is throwing his hat up in the air.
Yeah, that flag came in well after Tetzloff was on the ground. And, not only was the first flag, but then...
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 3 on the defense. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 3 on the offense. The penalties will offset. Resulting play, first down.
So it turns into a 4-yard gain. Both penalties will offset. And it's 1st and 10 now from around the 21, 22-yard line. Gain of 5 for Tetzloff. Initially, from the vantage point that we have here, which is pretty low to the field, it looked like that he didn't have enough to get a first down, where he really didn't gain much of anything, but that just shows you how good that offensive line of Brookings is to push that way, and it looked like he didn't gain anything, but he picked up 5 yards after all. 43 seconds to go here in the third quarter. And now a timeout will have to be called by Brookings. They didn't have the personnel that they wanted. And so it's going to be 1st and 10, 22 from the 22 with 43 seconds to go. That's a big first down for Brookings.
Huge.
And again, the one thing about flipping the field like they did, if Brookings can go down the field and put up points or just get into the red zone, that can take a lot of time off the clock. That forces the Governors to, one, have to have the defensive stand, but also won't give them a lot of wiggle room for any kind of mistakes after that.
Yeah, it's really going to be tough because, they can essentially run this thing down to the fourth quarter, to your point, and they have done a fantastic job of running between the tackles so far here tonight. Armenta's got 104 yards on 23 carries. Tetzloff's got 32 on 7 carries. So, they really have done a fantastic job of running the ball between the tackles, and then when you get close to the sticks, you just put the ball in the hands of big number 10 and let him churn his legs and fall forward, or pop one around the outside when everybody thinks that he's going to just plow into the line and fall forward. So Brookings has all the momentum, and, they've got the clock on their side as well.
43 seconds to go here in the third quarter, Armenta with the handoff. And not a whole lot of, make that Eisnitz, got the handoff, and not a whole lot of room to run. And it'll be a gain of maybe 1. They'll call it a gain of 1 for Eisnitz, the 2nd down and 9. And I don't know if they have to run another play here in the third quarter with a 4-point lead. I think if you're Brookings and you don't have to run another play, you choose to go the fourth quarter at this point.
You do. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do. They're really not even looking to line up on the football right now, so they're going to take this thing to the fourth quarter.
Yeah, the referee did not have his hand up in time for 10 seconds with 10 seconds on the game clock, so that will take us to the fourth quarter, and the Pierre Governors are down by 4 to Brookings, 17-13 here in the homecoming game. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Hi, I'm South Dakota Attorney General Marty Jackley. If you are a crime victim, there is a way you can stay updated on your case. Crime victims can access the statewide Automated Victim Information and Notification System, or SAVIN. This free service provides victims with important criminal information and notifications. For more information, call 1-844-299-4608 or go to savin.sd.gov.
Looking for a pharmacy that truly cares? At Vilas Pharmacy, we're committed to providing the best for your healthcare needs. We offer competitive pricing on all your prescriptions, ensuring you get great value without compromising on quality. Conveniently located right here in Pierre, getting your medications is always easy. Plus, you'll experience truly personalized service from our friendly and knowledgeable team. We're here to help you every step of the way. Make the switch to a pharmacy that puts you first. Visit us online at vilaspharmacy.com or call us today at 605-224-0907. We start the fourth quarter with the Pierre Governors trailing 17-13 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebind scoreboard. And it is 2nd down and 9 from around the 23-yard line as Eisnitz got a gain of 1 on that first down carry. After picking up a very crucial 3rd down, Anderson from the shotgun. Armenta will get the handoff. Porter Hunsley will meet him up about 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. Will Eilers on the tackle as well. And Armenta will pick up 6 to 7 yards, make it third down. We'll call it a gain of maybe 5 to the 28, 29 yard line. And it's third down and maybe a long 3 here for Brookings.
Yeah, just get the ball in the hands of your running backs. I was thinking this might be a chance for Tetzlaff to get the ball here, but 3rd and 3, they're going to run out of a shotgun formation here, it looks like.
Anderson will get the snap, hand off for Armenta again. He's met at the line of scrimmage. He's going to be stopped short of the 30-yard line. Maybe they'll spot him at the 30, but a gain of 1, and it's 4th down, and Brookings will have to punt the ball away. And a huge stop for the Pierre Governors. Looks like there is a cramp for one of the Bobcats players. I think Schoenhard was helping out to try and release the cramp for the Bobcat that is down, and the trainer will come out. But it turns into just a gain of 1 for Armenta. And 4th down here for Brookings Bobcats. Boy, that's a big defensive stop, Blake. And now the other side of it, you can't fall for a fake.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that that punt goes for Brookings. Because, again, if they get a first down here with 11 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, if they can continue to pick up first downs, they can take 10 minutes off the clock in a hurry and put themselves in a spot to potentially win a football game without the offense getting the ball back.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And, my thought initially was, 4th and 2, even though you're in your own territory, do you feel confident enough having the best player on the field on either side, just putting the ball in his hands and just having him try to fall forward for a couple of yards, or maybe he fakes that, tries to pop one around the outside? It's a thought that has crossed my mind, but we'll see. It looks like they are going to bring in the kicking unit. So Coach Gordon electing to play conservatively here rather than try to take his chance and roll the dice. A little more old school style rather than Coach Steele, Dan Campbell. I think if you give him a guy like that, he might roll the dice.
The
Who knows?
video game logic of going for it at this spot. Then the snap goes over the head of Johnson. He's going to try and pick it back up. He will still punt the ball away, and it's going to be grabbed by Brookings. They're not going to be able to do anything with it, and the Pierre Governors will have it at around the 10-yard line. The snap went about 5 feet over the head of Johnson. He picked it up. I don't even think he actually got the ball away. It might have even fell out of his hands as he was trying to punt the ball. And Hudson Schaefer on there. The Governors will get the ball right around the 10-yard line, and a huge, huge mistake for the Brookings Bobcats.
Wow. And that's how quickly a ball game can change, John. Wet conditions, ball slips out of the long snapper's hands for the Bobcats, not able to get a good grip on it, goes well over the head of Johnson. Johnson's doing all he can to try to get that thing away. Hudson Schaefer sees what happens. He alertly goes, tries to block the punt. He's able to do so, and now the Governors are in business inside the red zone, 1st and goal from the 10.
Yeah, they do officially make it 1st and goal. Handoff for Merrill. He'll bounce it left side. He gets free. He's into the end zone. A touchdown for the Governors. One play back, and Pierre's on top. 19-17. Pierre is leading. Carter Merrill's first touchdown of the season.
Wow. How quickly a ball game can change on 2 plays. A snap over the head of the punter in Johnson, and that backs up the Bobcat defense, and immediately you get Carter Merrill on a run off left tackle, and he's able to break a tackle and walk into the end zone, essentially almost untouched. He did get tackled into the end zone. Templeton is booting this one through the uprights, and good. 3-point lead for the Governors, 20-17, with 10:39 to go here in the 4th quarter.
Things have changed here at Hollister Field. The Govs lead it by 3. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. James Valley Landscape and Solutions, creating breathtaking spaces. all because of them. With 40 years of experience and the best landscaping team in the business, hire them to create spaces unimaginable. For a career with great benefits and a rewarding salary, let them hire you. James Valley Landscape and Solutions. As we welcome you back, it is a 20-17 lead as the Pierre Governors will pick up the 10-yard touchdown run from Carter Merrill. Right after that missed snap on the punt, block punt, Govs had it at the 10. They now have the lead 20-17 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. And now Brookings, with a lot of time left, 10:39 to go, they can run their offense the way they want to and can take a lot of time off the clock trying to retake the lead here in the fourth quarter.
But I think that's another play that we're going to circle back to in this game, John, because we talked about it. 4th and 2 from your own about 30-yard line, and you elect to punt. And, you know, Brookings has punted, 2 times in the game prior to that point?
Just once.
Or just once in that game. That was the second punt as the kick is away from Templeton, fielded by the Bobcats, number 6. And that would be Otto Eidsness, the running back. He's able to take it up to the 35-yard line, and that's where the Bobcats will set up shop from their own 35.
Well,
Eli Nichols makes the play. But going back to that point, second punt of the game, slippery conditions. It's going to be at least a 10-yard snap, and I don't know who the long snapper is for the Bobcats special teams unit, but ball slips out of his hands and goes well over Drew Johnson, and the game flips on its head just like that.
Anderson from the shotgun. Armenta in the backfield here for the Bobcats. They will hand off to Armenta. That defensive line really starting to tighten in and maybe wearing down the offensive line. And it's a gain, actually no gain on that play, and it's 2nd down and 10. My point, too, of that is hindsight's always 20/20, but you go for it on 4th and 2 and you don't get it, it's still going to be 20 yards ahead of where the Governors actually took over. Everything that could have gone wrong on that play went wrong, especially when you thought, well, maybe you go for it on 4th and 2 with and have Tetzlaff run the football. Because, again, you pick up 1 or 0, you don't get it, it still forces the Governors to have to go more than just 10 yards to try and score. 2nd down and 10 from the 35, under 10 minutes to go. Anderson rolling out of the pocket. Now he's going to roll back to his left. Man slips for the Governor, so Anderson will throw it away, and it will be incomplete to make it 3rd down and 10. As he was being chased by Lathan Rounds, and eventually started to run out of time. Rounds end up slipping as well, but it's 3rd down and 10 here for the Brookings Bobcats from their own 35-yard line.
Boy, and just like that, the momentum swings into the favor of the Govs because they run their first play, Armenta into the line. Sam Larson with a huge run fit, able to stop him for no gain. Then they pass on 2nd down, and Lathan Rounds does a good job of pressuring Anderson, getting him out of the pocket, has to throw it away, setting up 3rd and 10. And maybe look to see Bergen Tetzlaff on this play, him getting a target.
Anderson rolling to his right again. Terwilliger trying to step up. Terwilliger will be able to be the first one to touch Anderson. And Anderson is down at the 40-yard line, a gain of just 5. As the Governors were able to rally to the football. Along on the tackle was also Tucker Ott. And it's 4th down and 5 for the 40. And it looks like, Brookings will punt the ball away again. And now, with 9:13, the clock is stopped. Anderson did get out of bounds. Actually, no, the clock is running, excuse me. So we dip under 9 minutes. Pierre can use a lot of time off the clock and try and make this a 2-score ball game. Drew Johnson, we'll see if the snap is better. Still a high one. Johnson's able to get it down and punt the ball away. Shufflebine will go over to it, but he's got no chance of trying to field it, and it'll roll all the way down to the 15-yard line, so Pierre will have to go 85 yards. But the Govs, if they can go 85 yards, can take a lot of time of 8:45 remaining and find a way to put another W into the column here on homecoming night.
Yeah, this game has flipped on its head, and again, another high snap there from the Brookings long snapper. But Johnson was able to get his hands on that one and actually get away a pretty solid punt to the 15-yard line of the Governors, and that's where this offense will set up shop. But like you said, John, 8:45 to go in the ball game, and the Govs have a 3-point lead. Clock is now their friend, and they can salt this away with the run.
Merrill with the handoff right up the middle. He is wrapped up and thrown down. He ends up picking up about 4 yards to the 19. And again, Pierre does 4 to 5 yards, 3 to 5 yards per run. You're going to find this Governor team liking what they see at the end of the drive, and you're going to have not much time left on the clock by the time that comes to an end. 89 yards now rushing for Carter Merrill. He does have that touchdown run as he's closing in on the century mark on the ground here in his first game this season. Toss play left side for Merrill. He's got past the 20 to the 25-yard line, out to the 26, a gain of 7 and a first down for the Governors. And it's another first here for Pierre as they move the chains as they get down to 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, just keep getting the ball to Carter Merrill, and as long as you can pick up first downs and continue to stay in bounds, clock's going to salt away, and you're going to end up on the right side of the scoreboard by the end of the night.
1st and 10 from the 26. That gain of 7 for Merrill. Handoff for Merrill again, up the middle, tries to go left side. He'll get to the 30-yard line. He picks up 4 yards, and it's 2nd down and 6. And again, Pierce just chewing up that clock. 100 yards now rushing for Carter Merrill on 15 carries. And the Govs with 2nd and 6 as we near 9 o'clock Central Time on KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station. Pierre has retaken the lead after scoring the first 13 points. Brookings scored the next 17. Lead 17-13, and the Govs with that 10-yard touchdown run by Carter Merrill have a 20-17 lead and control the football right now at their own 30-yard line. Another toss play left side. Merrill's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and it will be 3rd down and long now here for the Governors.
Yeah, nice play there by Cash Sather and number 6, Nato Eidsness, teaming up for the tackle there. But stopping Merrill behind the line of scrimmage, he did get out of bounds, so the clock does stop with just under 7 minutes to play. So now we'll see if the Governors elect to throw the ball or if they stay conservative and try to just chew more clock.
3rd down and 8 after the loss of 2. They will change the play before they get the snap. Terwilliger and Shufflebind here on the near side. 2 receivers on each side. From the snap for Lounsbury, looks over the middle, the throw's tipped, and it's still going to be caught by Terwilliger. It was not thrown the best, but Terwilliger, and he will fight for a couple more yards to the 45-yard line. And Cooper Terwilliger's first catch is a beauty because he just stayed with it, and it picks up 17 yards and a first down for the Governors.
Boy, when things are going your way, they just go your way all the time, because that ball was thrown right to a Brookings Bobcat, and obviously wasn't expecting that throw. Tips the ball right into the air. The Bobcat that was defending was guarding Terwilliger. Ball pops right into the air. Cooper's able to snag it out of the air and drag Brookings Bobcat defenders for an additional 5 yards. First down, completed catch. Clock continues to roll. Just about 6 minutes left now.
Merrill handoff up the middle again as he'll pick up about 3 yards. So call it a gain of 2 to the 47 as he's back up to 100 yards again on 17 carries. That was the first completed pass of the second half for Lounsbury. Now, the other side of that is that he was just only 0 for 3 in the second half. So he's now 1 for 4. But he's only thrown the ball 11 times. And in a conditions like it is, you're not going to see a whole lot of throws. Anderson hasn't thrown the ball he's only thrown it 7 times so far. He's only 3 of 7 through the air. So not even a total of 20 times passing between these two teams. And we've got under 5.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Lounsbury toss again for Merrill as Carter Merrill will Ducheneau. That will get the toss. And Kea Ducheneau will get past the 50 to the Brookings 49-yard line. Picks up 4 yards, and it's 3rd down and manageable here for the Governors in Brookings territory.
Yeah, nice job there by Kea on the toss. He's able to pick up a few and stay in bounds. That's the biggest thing right now. Clock continues to run. 3rd and 4 here for the Govs from just over midfield into Bobcat territory. If they can get to the 45 of the Bobcats, they'll pick up another first down and continue to chew this clock.
Play clock down to 5, down to 3. Lounsbury's going to get the snap off. He does with 1 second on that play clock. It'll be handoff for Merrill, and he's got maybe a yard, and it's 4th down. And now what do you do here? 4.5 minutes to go. You can almost ice the game. They'll call it a gain of 2, and it's 4th down and 2. It looks like maybe the Governors will punt the ball away.
Looks like it.
And it was you're kind of in no man's land from where you're at, because if you're maybe 5 yards farther ahead, you can just go ahead and go for it. But where you're at the Brookings 48-yard line, not easy to go for it at that spot if you don't get it, which would have been 4th down and 3.
Now, the thing to keep in mind is Lounsbury, the punter, is also the quarterback. So, maybe they run a fake here.
Lounsbury will punt the ball away. It'll be off to the right side. It'll take a Governor bounce, and Pierre, as there is a flag that is down. And will we see it be against the Brookings Bobcats? If it is, that can push the Governors to a first down here.
Looked like Lounsbury and Max Schmitz were kind of going at it, though, and I wonder if he might be getting called for a hold, and that can give Brookings a little bit of momentum going into their drive here. We'll see what the call ends up being.
And then also it's on top of it when the punt was.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Brookings, number 21 for fouling. Player is ejected, plus a 15-yard penalty. It will be a half the distance to the goal.
So now Coach Steele is going to ask, so it was an ejection of Owen Hoppy. So Hoppy gets called for unsportsmanlike in a fight. And it was after the punt had happened, so that is the reason why the Governors don't get the first down. It was after the punt, so the possession was technically changed at that point. But number 21 and Hoppy has been ejected from the ball game with 3:47 to go, and both teams, actually Brookings has only 2 timeouts. The Governors have all 3 timeouts, but it does push them all the way back to the 10-yard line. And the Brookings has to go 90 yards or at least find themselves in the field goal range in the next 3 minutes and 47 seconds. And Pierre will take a timeout right now, and I think Coach Steele maybe says, hey, we have to stay composed after you get called for a penalty and fighting happening, that you can't let the emotions get the best of you in the last 3 minutes and 47 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's got to stay composed the rest of the way. And, this is a high-energy ball game. A lot of adrenaline running right now between both sides, because this is a 3-point ball game, and Brookings has the ball. They're the team that's down. They're going to have a chance to, march this thing down the field, potentially at least tie the game if they're able to get into field goal range, depending upon how much time's left on the clock, or win it if they're able to score. So I think that's a smart timeout from Coach Steele, just kind of getting his guys calmed down, telling them, we're here to, do our jobs, make plays. The old Bill Belichick mantra for the Patriots: do your job. Cooler heads prevail. Fill your gaps, cover your guys, and as long as the Govs are able to do that without getting too red-headed or steam coming out of their ears, they should be able to walk out of here at homecoming with a win.
From under center here on 1st and 10, the handoff. There's nothing doing there for the Bobcats, as it was Eisnitz that got the handoff, and I believe he didn't get anything, and it's 2nd down and 10. Max Schmitz was there on the tackle. And so now, after, again, the punt from the Governors, their 3rd one of the evening, Eisnitz was still just 12 yards on his now 7th carry of the night. Clock is a factor. Both teams with 2 timeouts. And if Brookings can't find a way to run the football, they're going to have to start throwing it here shortly because they've got to get in, at least in the field goal range right now. This will be a handoff for Armenta, and he's got nowhere to go. Sam Larson's the first one to meet him, and this Governor defense has really turned up the pressure and has forced Brookings to be now a passing team because that's back-to-back plays where there's been no gain to very limited. I mean, a half a yard a gain on the first two plays when Brookings has to score on this drive. I mean, there's 2:40 left to go. They have to score on this drive.
Yeah, they really do. This is a huge point in the ball game right now. 2 run plays to start this drive from Brookings. Time is not on their side. We'll see what happens here on 3rd and 10.
Turns into 4-down territory. Has to be 4-down territory. Anderson drops back to pass. He'll step up in the pocket. Now he's going to run to his left. Still looking. He'll throw. The catch is going to be made for a first down as it will be caught by number 15 and Jones Huntemer. And Huntemer gets the first catch by somebody other than, well, that was their flag. Did he throw it beyond the line of scrimmage?
I was wondering that too. I thought he looked a little bit too far down the field, so they might get him for an illegal forward pass here.
This is
in Anderson.
A huge call. If he was beyond the line of scrimmage, which was 10 yards, and again, our vantage point, it's really hard to see across the field and where he's at, and with the grass being all torn up and a whole lot of mud around the field. The referee's talking, looking over at the Brookings sideline. Nobody really understands. Nobody's moving back or forward here yet.
Well,
we're gonna hear from the referee.
Illegal forward pass on the offense. Half the distance to the goal. Launch it down. 4th down.
So not only do you lose the 5 yards, but you lose the down on top of it, and it's 4th and 15 from the 5. And with 2:15 to go, Brookings is saying, okay, we got to punt they're going to punt the ball away from their own 5-yard line. And Johnson has to be able to make the catch. If this is thrown out of the back of the end zone, it's a safety, and that pretty much seals the ball game because Pierre also gets the ball back on a free kick. So Brookings has to have a good snap. From the 5-yard line, it will be a good snap, and the punt will be a good one from the Bobcats. Scheffelbein will field at the 40-yard line. He's out to the 30, out to the 20, and he'll cut it back at the 15, and it will be 1st and 10 for the Governors with 2:02 to go, and they are in great field position to at least put that dagger in if they don't run the timeout either. With 2:02 to go, only 2 timeouts. 1 first down can do it for the Governors.
That was one of those no, go type of plays because everybody was expecting Scheffelbein not to field the ball because Brookings defenders were kind of converging around him, but he scoops it up, sees some grass to his left, and he's able to pick up a huge chunk play for the Govs with 2:02 to go and the ball spotted at the Bobcat 13.
So they can't pick up a first down with 2:02 to go as Merrill will get the handoff. Just stay inbounds, force Brookings to take the timeout, but there is a flag that comes in. And now while it doesn't help the Governors, it doesn't necessarily hurt the Governors either. As now we got a cramp as well. Carter Merrill might be cramping right now. And it'll probably be a hold against the against the Governors that will back them up.
Holding, offense, number 61 and 74. It will be a 2-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
So we got Max Bogenhagen and Tucker Ott both holding on that play, and it's now 1st and 20 from the 23-yard line. 1:54 to go. There's an injury timeout with the cramp. And for the Governors, again, they can pick up a first down. If they do so, that pretty much ices the game away. But Brookings still with those 2 timeouts. The Govs have to make sure they can pick up a first down. I don't put anything past Steve Steele on throwing the football in a late game situation, and it might not be first or second down when he throws it, but I'm not going to put it past him to throw the football on third down to try and make sure he picks up a first down or get in the end zone. But if you get close enough, Carter Templeton, Logan Whitty has hit a couple of field goals that as long as you're inside the 20-yard line, I like the Governor's chances of putting a field goal up at this point. Or maybe you say we're going to go for it on fourth down and make Brookings go down the field again, as Merrill is limping off the field right now. Again, he looked like it was mostly a cramp, but now they don't have their big back in the ball game. But Kea Ducheneau, he started the first 3 games of the year, started again tonight. He's been excellent, and the Govs can rely on him again. 1st and 20 from around the 22, 23-yard line. Handoff for Ducheneau. He is met at the line of scrimmage. He's got nowhere to go. And a timeout taken by the Brookings Bobcats with 1:47, 1:45. And a timeout here for the Bobcats. 2nd down and 20 from the 22-yard line. No gain for Ducheneau.
Yeah, to your point, Kea has done a good job this year of, he's had a really good game. I think he had a good game against Huron, if I remember correctly. Ran the ball really well, over 100 yards in that ball game. But he's capable. He's able to pick up positive yards when the Govs need him. And like you said, he's got the starting experience. Has started all 4 ball games. So in the event of an injury like that, you hate to see anybody go down, especially a kid like Carter Merrill, who missed the first 3 ball games of the year, and seeing his first big-time action tonight. But you have a guy in Kea Ducheneau who has a lot of experience and is able to, basically pick back up where Carter left off, and there's not a whole lot of difference. And actually now it looks like we're going to see Jaron Deal in the backfield running a play here.
So Jaron Deal will be now the quarterback for the Pierre Governors, as we'll see what they want to do with Deal as the quarterback.
Or is that Scheffelbein?
Let's see here. I believe it would be.
Deal.
It is Deal, yes, as he'll go right up the middle, and Deal picks up quite a few yards back. Brookings does not take their final timeout, and now does take their final timeout with 1:36 to go. Be 3rd down and manageable here for the Governors. Deal picked up about 9 yards to make it 3rd down and 11. And Deal's first run is a good one. Jaron Deal had 11 yards on 3 carries coming into this game. But now the decision for if you're the Pierre Governors, if you run the football, you can take it under a minute to go. If you run the football and pick up a first down, you win the ball game, which you don't have a whole lot of, you get about 3 yards to the end zone. But if you don't pick it up and you don't lose any yards, do you think about going for it to try and get the first down, Blake?
I think it's Steve Steele. I think absolutely. If anything is close, Coach Steele has shown historically time and time again that he's willing to roll the dice. He's kind of cut from the cloth of his favorite team and his favorite coach, Dan Campbell, who is notorious for going for things in the Detroit Lions. That's exactly what Coach Steve Steele does time and time again. So if there's anything close, if they run Jaron Deal again, we'll see here as he's back in the ball game at quarterback, and we'll see if Deal's able to get close, what Coach Steele decides to do.
No timeouts remaining for Brookings. 3rd down 11 for the 14. Another design run for Deal as he'll go up the middle. He gets to around the 10-yard line. The clock will roll under 1 minute to go, and it's about a gain of 5 or so for Jaron Deal. We'll call it a gain of 4, and it's 4th down and 7 for the Governors. And I think Coach Steele, with those 2 timeouts, will probably let that clock run down.
That's exactly what he's going to do. He's standing right by that official.
He'll take the timeout whenever that play clock gets down to 1, which will be under a minute to go. Let's see. His referee has not. Now he's got the hand up for 10 seconds. So it'll be under 40 seconds by the time whatever that play is run. It'll be under 40 seconds. And so a timeout will be taken with 45 seconds remaining. And talking about Coach Steele wanted to go for it. If you go for the field goal and you don't get it, they're at the 20-yard line. So it's going to be, you have to go get 80 yards down the field with no timeouts. The other side is if you get it, it's still a 6-point game, and there's a chance of a big return to put yourself in good range. I think Coach Steele and this Governor defense, he's got a lot of confidence in that Governor defense that if they don't get it with inside the 10-yard line, it's going to be very difficult for the Bobcats to go 90 yards down the field or at least just get into field goal range. It's going to be very difficult for them to do that against the Governor defense.
Yeah, I think you're right. And, maybe the play call here is, send Jaron Deal back there because like we talked about earlier, I don't know if Caleb Lounsbury is 100% to be able to kind of run around back there, but maybe that's the play call is you just snap it back to Jaron Deal and, tell him to kind of run around back behind the line of scrimmage, try and waste as much time as possible. And
they are going
to run out Lounsbury and Ducheneau here, though.
4th and 7 from the 10-yard line. Lounsbury rolled to his right, looking to throw. Now he'll stop. He'll throw. The catch will be incomplete as they're looking for Terwilliger and maybe just behind him, and it's going to be a turnover on downs with 38 seconds remaining. And here comes the ball game, as the Brookings Bobcats will have to go 90 yards to win the ball game. There's an injured Bobcat player with another cramp, looks like. Oh, maybe not so much a cramp. Hopefully he is okay, but the Bobcats have to go 90 yards down the field to win the ball game. They have to probably somewhere be around the 15, maybe the 20-yard line to put themselves in a spot to kick a 37, somewhere within a 40-yard field goal for Drew Johnson. The field conditions aren't great, so you want to try and get probably as close as you can. They've got to go pretty much 70 yards down the field at this point.
Yeah, they really do. This is a ball game. You've got to go basically the length of the field in less than 40 seconds, and you don't have any timeouts. Now, the nice thing about high school football is that the clock stops when you get a first down, so that they can reset the chains. So that will allow the Bobcats to move forward and potentially spike the ball with no time running off the clock. But still a very tall task, and you're going to see Davin Anderson probably drop back and throw here quite a bit on this drive.
Anderson will drop back to pass, looking down the field. He'll throw for Tetzlaff, who will make the catch, and he's got a first down out to around the 30-yard line, a gain of about 20. And Tetzlaff will have a big gain to get things started here in this final drive of the ball game. 30 seconds to go. He did get out of bounds, so clock is fully stopped. First.
That's one thing you can do, too. Just get the ball in the hands of the best player in the field, number 10. He's been dangerous all night.
1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Anderson will step up and try and run with it. He's going to get hit, and Brookings has to get back to the line quickly. There's 20 seconds to go. It was a loss of 1 for Anderson. Will they spike it? They're going to get everybody set, and then they will spike the ball with 14 seconds to go. And it's 3rd down and 11 here for the Bobcats from the 29-yard line.
That's a huge sack on that last play I'm trying to go back and look at who actually we're going to give credit to the sack there, because it looked like quarterback and Anderson just kind of fell down on that play. Officially, we'll give it to Max Schmitz on that sack there, but 3rd and 11 from the Bobcat 30 with 14 seconds to go.
You're looking at 2 plays if you pick up a first down or get out of bounds. 14 seconds to go. They still got to go 71 yards down the field. Anderson will step up and run with it again. Throws over the middle. That's going to be incomplete at his 4th down. He was looking for number 80 in Jude Meendering. And it's now 4th down and 11 with 8 seconds to go here in the ball game. Again, maybe you get one more play if you pick up a first down and get out of bounds. But you pretty much have to pick up the first down and immediately get out of bounds to give yourself a shot. Otherwise, this is your final play call. No timeouts, so you can't even talk about what you want to do.
Yeah.
What do you have in the back of the playbook? Some kind of razzle-dazzle here. 4th and 11. from the 29-yard line. Anderson throws over for Tetzlaff, and it will be incomplete as he overthrows him, and that will end the ball game with 3 seconds remaining. The Pierre Governors will have to take a knee, and they will go to 3-1 of the season and survive Brookings here on homecoming nights.
Well, that was kind of what I was thinking. Ball was definitely going to go to Bergen Tetzlaff on that play, and I'm surprised that they didn't try to get him going to the sideline rather than across the middle of the field. But Anderson went back to pass, to your point, and overshot Tetzlaff, which that's a tall task, asking to overshoot somebody 6'5" and as good an athlete as Bergen Tetzlaff is, but overshot him, and Caleb Lounsbury will take a knee and end the ball game. Pierre will win this homecoming football game by a final score of 20-17.
Huge win for the Governors. They win it by 3 and will move to 3-1 of the season as Brookings falls to 2-2. A big win for the Governors on homecoming night. We'll return to wrap it up here in the post-game show. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Radon. You can't see it, you can't smell it, but this radioactive gas can pose a serious health risk. Don't take chances with your family's health. When you get a home inspection from Thorpe, you have the option to add professional radon testing. This isn't a home box test. This is testing thoroughly and accurately, giving you a clear picture of your home safety. You get your results immediately. No hassle, no wait. Don't settle for less. Ask for professional radon testing as an add-on or just call for the radon test. Thorpe Home Inspection. Your safety, our priority. Call today for your home's radon test. 605-301-9211.
As community bankers, BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose BankWest. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota in Pierre is proud to sponsor today's game. Whether you're in the market for a brand new Ford, Lincoln, or Toyota, or a quality pre-owned vehicle, our team is here to get you back on the road in style. From tough trucks to family SUVs, we've got the selection you need and the hometown service you deserve. Browse online anytime at CapitalCityFordToyota.com. Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, where community drives us forward.
Planting for next year is right around the corner, but do you know how much nutrients your crops will need? Fall soil sampling with CHS River Plains can help you look at each field's nutrient carryover, provide you with a more accurate farm plan, and allow you to take a position on those nutrients needed when you see fit. Plus, it'll make your life easier next spring when the planters are ready to roll and you don't have to wait. Contact your local CHS River Plains agronomist today, and we'll get the pickup headed your way.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Athletics on KCCR. Go Govs! For all your investment needs, call or stop by one of our offices to visit with your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisor. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
People helping people.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
As we welcome you back, it is the post-game show. The Pierre Governors win at 20-17 on the American Family Insurance Sprinting Shufflebine scoreboard. As we start with our players of the game, and we start with Carter Shufflebine, who picked up a touchdown reception early in the ball game and ended up with 2 touchdown receptions, 117 yards receiving on 5 catches. Carter, this is a homecoming game, always a lot of extra emotion. Another bad conditions tonight. How much fun was it to play in another sloppy game like this?
It was a very fun game out there. The boys worked hard, the conditions were great. The defense stepped up when they needed to, the offense got on the board early. And I think we can clean it up a little bit, but I think it was a pretty good game.
Yeah, Carter, that touchdown that you had early in the ball game, Was it, obviously kind of a short slant route that you caught over the middle? What did you see? You looked like maybe you got one-on-one coverage with a defender down there. Once you broke the tackle, it was pretty much green grass from there. Was that the play call just to get the ball in your hands in space?
Cover 4 in that play. We're watching the linebacker. Linebacker went out. Caleb threw a good ball. I turned up the field, expecting to make a man miss. Nobody there. Pretty much just housed it all the way from there.
Well, you guys opened up with a 13-0 lead, but then end up being down 17-13, and obviously get the ball in pretty good field position. How big was that special teams play on the offensive side to get you guys going again to score on that next play?
Brookings obviously adjusted well. We were a little slow to adjust, but the special teams play, I mean, it's a huge play. It really got us back in the game, really the momentum swing that we needed, so it was huge.
Yeah, Carter, this is a huge win for you guys. Obviously, homecoming is a huge thing in the community, and really fun week overall. What does it mean to come away with an emotional win like this against a really good Brookings team as well?
I mean, losing homecoming last year really hurt, and losing to Brookings last year, so it was good to get our revenge and get our revenge on the home turf and homecoming. That was really awesome.
You guys take on Yankton next week. What do you expect? Anything that you know about them yet going into the next Friday's game?
Yankton's sharp. They're big. So we just need to get another good week of practice. Defense, dial it in. Offense, dial it in. Get some points on the board and maybe put up a 0 if we're lucky.
Well, congratulations on the win. Go enjoy the rest of the fireworks.
Thank you.
That is Carter Scheffelbein. We'll move to Hudson Schaefer, who had a huge go through that punt block, that almost the tackle of the punter himself. Could take us through that play.
We're calling safe on the sideline, so we're just really looking to get the ball back and get a possession back. And I'm watching the snap, and it's like 7 feet over the punter's head, so I just take off the edge, blow up the guy before the punter. Then I kind of slip, but still dive at the punter, and he can't get the ball off. And then it was just a team rally from there, and we got the ball, and that was the momentum shift that we needed.
To that point, Hudson, what can you say about the building off of a play like that? Because the next play from scrimmage, Carter Merrill takes it into the end zone from 10 yards out, and you guys flip the game on its head basically just like that.
Yeah, that's just really demoralizing for Brookings. And then we got our O-lineman getting hyped up, ready to just take on some blocks and move the pile, and Merrill just does his thing. And I'm happy to see him back on the field to get that done. So,
this game was a couple different runs, 13-0 lead, then a 17-13 lead for the Brookings Bobcats. For you guys to step up on that last couple of drives, to force that to the couple punts, and then get the final turnover on downs, how big was that for this defense? Because you guys not necessarily haven't been challenged, but this was a challenging game with how Brookings was able to score in this game. How big was that down the stretch for you guys?
It was huge for us. Being able to stop their run, nut up a little bit, and get it done, it was just perfect. And those stops just energized the offense even more to get it done for us. And yeah, it was just good from there.
Been a big week for you, Hudson, being a homecoming royalty candidate. You know, obviously an emotional week for sure, just with everything you got going on, and then to come out tonight in a huge spot, get a big win like Carter talked about, lost last year on homecoming. What does it mean as a senior this year for you to go out on homecoming with a win?
This win is huge for me. I mean, it's always what I've wanted. Last year hurt really bad to just have a team come in here and just beat the crap out of us. And this feels good. And all the hard work I did this week at late nights watching film or homework just paid off with this win. So,
well, Yankton's your opponent next week. What do you expect from them early on going into next Friday?
We're going to have to be really locked in on our duties and our jobs. They're a really quick offense. They have super fast pace, so the D's definitely going to be a little bit on their heels at first, but hopefully we'll acclimate and be just fine. So,
well, congratulations.
Yeah.
Go celebrate with the guys.
Thank you.
That is Hudson Schaefer, our second player of the game. We'll turn it over to Porter Hunsley, who had another interception on the night. And all right, Porter, we'll go through that play with us, making that interception earlier in the ball game.
Yeah, so they were in that formation. We've been watching that film all week, and we knew that play was going to come at some point. And we saw the QB run out. That number 10 did that out route. I was actually supposed to be over top of the route, but I was underneath the route. I was able to get the pick, and that's all that really matters. So,
Porter, to your point, you had the task and the assignment of guarding Bergen Tetzlaff, number 10, on passing routes quite a bit tonight. How challenging was that? As he obviously is a big athlete, standing about 6'5", and can run like he does.
He can definitely go get the ball, so it's hard to jump balls are tough. But I was able to stick with him most of the game, and I think that he's physical, he's big, like you said, and I feel like I was able to stick along with him well.
You know, offensively for Brookings, they like to run the ball up the middle, and obviously you had several you had a lot of tackles on the night, but you guys really started to crack down on those runs up the middle. How big was that to be able to kind of get that adjustment and be able to stop those runs? You know, the defensive line, obviously the guy that we're going to talk to next had a lot of tackles as well, but how big was that for you guys to adjust to make that stop?
That was exactly what we needed because they were really dominating us in that part of the game. At the beginning, they were able to get the ball down the field based off the run up the middle, and when we were able to adjust, stop the run, and they really couldn't go anywhere else. So,
in a game of runs like this, Porter, how satisfying is it at the end of a night like tonight to end up with a win, especially on a night like tonight being homecoming week for you?
It's definitely amazing. Last year, like everyone else said, that tough loss on homecoming. I'm just glad we were able to come in here, get the win, even though it was close, nail biter. Win's a win, so I'm just glad we were able to pick up the win.
Yankton next week, anything early on that you expect from the Yankton Bucks?
They're definitely a dominant team. They'll be moving quick like they did last year, and I think we really need to be sound on our defense, and if we can do that, do our jobs right, we'll be good.
Well, congratulations on the win, and we'll see you next Friday.
Thank you.
That is Porter Hunsley, and now a first coming in, Sam Larson gets the microphone. You were huge in that second half defensively. What was the adjustment for you to be able to make as many tackles as you did, and for this defense to stop the run after what they did in the first half? What was kind of that adjustment for you?
I could whittle it down about two things. There's a big mentality change. You know, doing this for my brother Aiden. He can't be here today. And another, the energy from the fans. They did a great night tonight, everybody.
To your point, Sam, you said you guys obviously brought out the jerseys tonight for Aiden. You know, this is obviously an emotional season just in general for you guys. Like you said, what was the mentality shift at halftime? Just was it like a looking at the jersey for you that kind of reminded you that you're playing for something bigger this year, or what was the thing that flipped the switch for you in the second half?
Yeah, being able to look out at my jersey and lock right back in helped a lot. It's really hard to just pull it out of nowhere.
Well, Sam, let's see.
I had you down for 11.5 tackles tonight.
So. And how many did he have in the first half?
Unofficially, I had you at about 2.5. So huge second half for you.
You know, knowing that you end up having about 10 tackles in the second half, did you know that was kind of the case? Did you feel like you were just? I mean, is your body a little sore after having that many tackles, especially the second half?
Yeah, I'm gonna be hurting tomorrow. I think it was more like I could just see the plays develop easier. Like everything was starting to click.
How much of that is you seeing the game kind of slow down, and how much of that is your defensive line getting push in front of you, Sam?
We had a couple changes on our lineman fronts, and my keys that I'm reading, I was starting to see those clear. That also helped.
Sure, awesome. Like we talked about, obviously an emotional win for you guys on homecoming tonight. What can you say about the week that has been this week, and then obviously culminating with a win? How gratifying is that for you?
Honestly, I feel like I fulfilled a duty to my brother Aiden. I don't know how I'd be feeling if I lost this game, so I'm just happy that I could do it for him and his father Dustin. Great man, strongest one I know.
Yankton next week, your next opponent, anything that you kind of know about them going into next Friday?
They're pretty good. I know that. So we're going to have to lock in, focus on doing our job, developing some more trust with each other, and I think we'll be all right.
Well, congratulations on the win, and we'll see you next Friday down in Yankton.
Yeah, thanks for having me here.
Absolutely. That is Sam Larson, who had a heck of a ball game. We will talk with Steve Steele here shortly. He'll be making his way down, and we'll talk to him to wrap things up here this evening. Blake, we get a moment here, too, to to talk about this game. This was a kind of a gut check type game for the Pierre Governors. Obviously after their loss to Huron, felt like they wanted to really make a statement the following week, and they did so against Watertown, but found themselves down after a 13-0 lead, found themselves down 17-13. A gut check for the Governors, and they definitely passed the gut check tonight.
Yeah, they really did. This was a game of runs, kind of like basketball is a game of runs. Tonight in football, it was a game of runs where, Pierre scored the first 13 points of the ball game. Would have been 14, but Bergen Tetzlaff came up with a huge block, and that was the start of a huge night for him. We called his name quite a bit, both offensively and defensively. And to that end, 13 points for Pierre. Bergen Tetzlaff is a huge key and a big reason why Brookings was able to swing that momentum back the other way and pick up 17 unanswered points, making it 17-13 with, very, very. It was about midway through the fourth quarter when it was that 4th and 2 call, and we were talking about it. It was either 4th and 2 or 4th and 3, and we said, do you roll the dice if you're Coach Carter Gordon for the Brookings Bobcats, or do you decide to play it safe conservatively and punt the ball away? And they decided to punt the ball away, and like we talked about, the field conditions being a little bit slipperier tonight, and then obviously Brookings really not having punted a whole lot either prior to that second punt. Ball goes basically airmailed over the head of Drew Johnson, the punter, and he's basically trying to scramble back there to do everything he can to get the punt off. Hudson Schaefer beats his man and is able to come up with a huge block punt that basically springs the game back the other way, and that momentum pendulum that we always talk about in sports back in the hands of the Governors. Carter Merrill is in the end zone for a touchdown on the next play, and the Govs take that lead back and don't give it up the rest of the way. So huge emotional victory for the Govs on multiple fronts here tonight, not only for being homecoming, but obviously for the debut of the Aiden Van Balen-inspired jerseys tonight. Huge win for the Govs tonight on homecoming, and obviously a really cool fireworks display put on by Smith Fireworks at the end of the ball game here tonight as well.
A couple of final scores here for this evening. Silly Buttes will get the win over Gettysburg, 30-0 in that final score. In Class 9 AA for Stanley County, they would fall to Gregory 56, or it looks like it's still going, 56-14, but Coach Steele coming in now, so we'll hand the microphone to him. And Coach, we just kind of talked about kind of a gut check win for the Pierre Governors. Things were going well, up 13-0. Found yourself down 17-13. You get a big defensive special teams play that puts yourself at 1st and goal of the 10. Carter Merrill runs it in. You get the lead. You hold on for the win. A gut check victory for the Governors.
Yeah, I mean, very, very proud of these guys being able to handle, a lot. I mean, again, it's been a challenging year for a lot of ways, obviously, but again, just kind of. We'd rather have this weather against Yankton than Brookings and Aberdeen.
Well, and that's kind of the thing, too, is that, the weather has obviously not been great for playing here in Pierre. It's been great on the road so far, temperature-wise and all that stuff. But, the elements that you had to battle on top of the game plan that Brookings had really put a different emphasis on this football game than if it was 70 degrees and we had 0 inches of rain over the course of the last week.
Yeah, that's a really good football team, first and foremost. Tetzlaff's incredible. Exactly as advertised. If you wonder off film, is this kid this good? He's that good. He was all over the place on defense. I don't know how many tackles he had, but had
him down for 7 unofficially with a blocked extra point and a forced fumble.
That sounds about right. And then obviously, the phenomenal game on offense too. So, just a heck of an athlete, and they had a really good run game behind it. And the package with him and running back with 10 people in front of him. That's a challenge too. That's just a lot of mass and a strong person behind the boulder. So, very, very, very proud of the guys for finding a way to figure their way out and get through this one. So. Kind of a similar feeling to the Aberdeen game, just in the sense that, they found a way in a game that was challenging us in many ways.
speaking of your offensive play calling, Coach, looked like overall, apart from that big explosive that you had right away at the beginning of the game with Carter Scheffelbein catching that slant pass and housing it, tonight was, again, kind of probably based on the field conditions, a lot of run-heavy offense. And first time we've gotten to see Carter Merrill be featured this season. Ended up unofficially with 18 carries for 102 yards and that touchdown to end the ball game, or to basically give you guys the lead that you didn't relinquish. How nice is it to have him back in the backfield, just kind of adding that additional spark to your guys' backfield?
I mean, today especially was extremely important, just because, again, you kind of not by choice, you had to run.
Mm-hmm.
In Brookings they have good coverage. They really play back in a lot of ways, kind of similar to what Huron did. But with the footing and all that stuff, you also had to run the ball more today. You had to do that to win the game. And having him back was great. I mean, he's a different runner because he's very physical, but he's got a lot of that shake. He's very hard to bring down by the first guy. And again, I think it was a good first game back. You saw a little cramp, so you could tell it was first game back. But I think it was good to have him there.
Well, and at least this time this week, you had the game plan already of what you were wanting to do, and not toss it out. I guess technically 2 hours before the game, because we had to wait basically 2.5 hours to actually start the game. But you had the game plan already in place this time instead of trying to throw it out like you did a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely easier in that sense, But the other part I'm really proud of the guys is, the weather essentially canceled Wednesday practice. The weather put us in the gym on Thursday. So, it was really a one true day of practice week. And that one day of practice was 4 days ago, So, to be able to still know the game plan and be able to execute it to that level enough to win this football game, very, very impressed by those guys.
Yeah, turning the page to your defense, Coach, we had, 3 guys kind of flash big for you. As far as number of tackles, Sam Larson, huge game tonight, had him for, I think, 2.5 tackles at the end of the first half, ends up with 11.5. Porter Hunsley, 7.5 tackles at a pick. And then Max Schmitz had 9, a sack at the end of the ball game. And then obviously Hudson Schaefer, 4 tackles officially, but obviously the big block punt at the end of the game, that special teams play that John was talking about earlier. What can you say about that defensive unit? And obviously, things were kind of swinging the way of Brookings, especially in that second and third quarter. For those guys to kind of flip that switch and turn the ball game around for you, what can you say about your defensive unit, or so far obviously tonight, but then just so far this season in general?
Yeah, they've done a really good job of. They kind of been bend not break. Again, somewhat by design with the conditions, but the biggest thing was they were tasked with getting some big stops late in that game. They get the 4th and 12 touchdown where they toss it up to Tetzlaff and he goes and just is bigger and stronger than everybody. And at that moment it was kind of hey, they can't get another one. And I don't think they might have got one more first down. I know they got the one at the end there when we're playing back and kind of a prevent, but in terms of when they had the lead, I don't think they got another first down. And that's the kind of response that those guys have done a really good job of over the course of the season. You look at every game. Huron, they didn't give up a touchdown after the first drive, the whole game. Aberdeen, they gave up 1. They're playing at a very high level. Their effort's phenomenal. Tackling stuff today.
Yeah.
You're quite literally tackling a grease pig after a little bit. That was a challenge. But I thought they did well on that. And again, plenty that we can always improve on. But very, very proud of the effort they played with tonight.
Well, you had the new jerseys out tonight, so the floral, green floral with the black jerseys in honor and memory of Aiden Van Balen. You guys come up here just about every single week, and if it's not one, it's the next one, or the next week that the guys up here and mentioning Aiden. This homecoming is obviously a really fun time, a really special time, but there's a lot of, as you mentioned, extra emotions that go into this homecoming week. How important is it for these guys to be wearing these jerseys tonight? Whether they wear them again this season, whether it be in the regular season or maybe first round of the playoffs or whatever it might be, how important is it for these guys to be able to do that and be able to win on homecoming night and for their lost teammate?
Yeah, homecoming is always an important game, and it's always a fun game just with the crowd and everybody coming back. And met the 65 football coach, Bud Glanzer, over there, and that's just really cool. It's a cool thing. But for these kids, it meant so much more to wear that jersey tonight. I know it meant a lot. We had Jacob down on the sideline with us, and it meant a lot more tonight. And I know they were very, very proud of getting that win for Aiden here, especially in those jerseys.
Yeah, kind of going back to John's point on what he said earlier in that question too. All of the distractions that homecoming week provides, Coach. So many things going on, so many different strings pulling at your guys. What does it take in a week like this, especially to keep everybody laser focused on the same task in an effort to pull out a win, especially against a good team like Brookings had tonight?
Yeah, it was definitely a challenge this week, just because, there was on Wednesday we didn't know what the practice was going to look like at 2:30, and the practice started at 3:15. So, they did a great job of being flexible, and kind of just rolling with the punches and doing whatever they needed to do, and whatever we adjusted our plans to. They never questioned and said, "Why are we doing that?" We want to go out and practice in the 3 feet of rain, But, they did a great job of just being flexible, going out, making sure that they were able to be prepared for the game. There's a lot more meetings, a lot more film time this week than there was in a typical week, just because that was what we had available. So, again, very, very proud of the guys for finding a way to still prepare for this game the way that they could, and ultimately do it well enough to get a win.
Well, next week is Yankton, and pretty much for the last at least 10 years, Pierre and Yankton, a lot of implications at the end of the season on who wins this game this next week. Usually is the number 1 or number 2 seed. But now with other teams that have won a lot of games, there's more implications of saying, hey, we can stay inside the top 3 or top 4 with a win against Yankton. How important is that game, and how much do you make sure it's still just another game, but knowing the importance of playing a very good Yankton team next Friday?
Yeah, it's going to be a crucial one. It's going to be a battle, and if you look back, turn back to last year, this was a really rough 4-game stretch for us, and we're 2-0 through the midpoint of that 4-game stretch. So I think we feel really good about where we're at right now. And we're hoping, obviously, we get not 5 inches of rain and it's great down there, which they're probably thinking the same thing. But it's always a fun game when you go down there. It's a crazy place to play. It's always 2 good football teams, and it's usually a battle. So we expect nothing less.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win tonight. Good to end homecoming in the firework display with the win, and congratulations on it. We'll talk to you Wednesday at Coach's Corner.
Thanks, guys.
That is head coach Steve Steele, the Pierre Governors, as the Govs pick up a 20-17 win over the Brookings Bobcats, as they are now 3-1 on the season. Brookings falls to 2-2 on the year. All right, Blake, final thoughts as we'll wrap things up, and we got Pierre Governor volleyball tomorrow afternoon, coverage at 1:30 and a 2 o'clock first serve. But your final thoughts here tonight on the Governor win?
Yeah, we talked about it. Game of emotion, game of runs on both sides. This was a classic going down to the wire game, and really we haven't seen over the course of the last probably 7-8 years since Coach Steele's been here. There have been very, very few games like tonight in terms of the emotion that took things all the way to the end. You can pick out a handful over the course of that time, but really not much as far as emotionally draining as tonight was, I would say, in the fact that the Govs are able to come out victorious. To your point, it was good to see Carter Merrill back out there on the field. I think we had him down for 18 carries for 102 yards and a touchdown. So good to see Carter back out there running the rock. And like Coach said, you could tell it was his first game, cramped up a few times, but he'll definitely build that stamina and that endurance as the game progresses, as he continues to build up momentum going forward throughout the season. But this was a game of runs, 13-0 for the Govs in the first half. Brookings comes back, kicks a field goal, scores a touchdown going into halftime. They score again, going up 17-13 in the third quarter. All the momentum's on Brookings' side. Comes down to a 4th and 2 play at about the 30-35 yard line with, midway through the fourth quarter. And we had that conversation up here. That was a play we were going to circle back to. What does Coach Carter Gordon decide to do? Either go for it with getting the ball in the hands of Bergen Tetzlaff, or do they punt the ball away? And they decide to go conservative, punt the ball away. Long snapper puts one way over the head of the punter, Drew Johnson. Drew tries to do everything he can to get the punt away. Hudson Schaefer comes up with a huge block. Very next play, Govs are in the end zone. They take the lead back, and they don't relinquish it. And that is a huge momentum boost for this Governor team. Not that they needed it, because they were coming off of a huge win against Watertown, kind of avenging their state championship loss last year in Watertown, of all places, too. But to that point, this is a team that has really started to find itself, through the first few games of the season. First game, kind of a wash. It was kind of like similar to tonight in terms of, field conditions were wet, had to run the ball a lot, couldn't really air it out. 9-6 win, so you kind of throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak. And then you go to Huron the next week, and you really struggle to put the ball in the end zone. And Huron does a good job. They're really a formidable foe. I think they were up on Sturgis last I checked.
They did beat Sturgis.
They did end up winning that ball game. So they're currently seeded or ranked as the number 2 team in Class 11 AA, and they remain so after their win tonight over Sturgis 33-16. But that Huron goes in or beats Pierre in Huron, and then the momentum kind of flipped, the switch flipped for the Govs. They're able to, go into Watertown and stomp the Arrows, and then basically get a huge emotional win against the Bobcats tonight on what ended up being, to Coach Steele said, one day of practice. So you're starting to see things build in a positive direction for the Govs, and it's happening at the right time, because you're going to go down to Yankton and play the number 1 team in the state next week, and that is a huge game, like you talked about. A lot of playoff implications with that one, but Govs are going to enjoy this one tonight, as they should. Homecoming week, always emotional, and it's emotional for a number of reasons, with Aiden Van Balen's passing and the unveiling of the new jerseys here this evening. But obviously, just getting a homecoming win is emotional too, so they'll enjoy tonight. But next week will be an absolute doozy, and I can't wait for it, even though I won't be there to call the game. But I'll sure be listening on KCCR 1240 AM or on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
That's right, yeah. We'll be on the air at 6:30 on next Friday with a 7 o'clock kickoff between Pierre and Yankton, as we will also have Pierre Governor volleyball tomorrow, 1:30 with coverage, and a 2 o'clock first serve, as the Govs will take on the T-Area Titans. That'll wrap things up for us here from Riggs, from Hollister Field, not quite at Riggs High School, but at Hollister Field here at Phil Troutner Stadium, as the Pierre Governors win it tonight, 20-17. They're now 3-1 of the season, as Brookings will fall to 2-2 in a big game coming up next week against the Yankton Bucks. For Blake Dean, I'm John Winkler signing off. The Pierre Governors win it 20-17 tonight on homecoming night, as we say so long from Hollister Field.
You've been listening to Pierre Governor Sports on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. The Pierre Governors are brought to you by Bank West, Allied Plumbing, Beck Motors, Home Care Services, Venture Communications, Vilas Pharmacy, Todd's Electric, State Farm Insurance, CHS River Plains, and Zander Auto Parts. And by Wheelhouse Auto Body, Slumberland, SD Savin, Shane's Pharmacy, Kathy Sunshine Properties, Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, First Fidelity Bank, Country Carpet and Flooring, and Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping. And by Wagner Auto, Sanford Clinic, the South Dakota Office of Attorney General, Division of Consumer Protection, American Family Insurance, Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, Envirotech, First National Bank, and Faith Lutheran Church. And by Kruger Climate Systems, River Bottom Sanitation, Rising Hope Counseling, Pizza Ranch, Olson Plumbing, Dakota Storm Roofing, Ferding Electric, James Valley Landscaping, Lamb Motors, May Adam, and First Dakota National Bank. And by Oahe Federal Credit Union, Missouri River Dentistry, Kruger Contracting, Karsten Erickson Roofing, Gales Gas, Edward Jones Financial, and First United Methodist Church. Join us all season for more of the Pierre Governors. This has been a special presentation of Riverfront Broadcasting Central